Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we are going to see the complete data analyst portfolio project. And in this project, we are going to make use of SQL tool and Power BI tool. All right. So these are the most important data analysis tool which are used right now in market. And there is a very high demand for these particular tools. And in this project, we are going to see from basic to advanced complete video step by step, and this is mainly for who are learning as a beginner or at intermediate level. So the experienced people also go ahead and watch this because we are going to use some advanced functionalities, some advanced DAX functions, conditional filterings, and conditional formattings, action filters likewise. All right. So before going ahead, we will see the overview of an project. So right now in front of your screen, whatever you are seeing, this will be our final output, and this is an complete total we can say an interactive dashboard which we are going to build. So first of all, we are going to see the SQL project or the SQL part, in which we will be firing some queries and we will be getting the results as per our customer requirement. And after that, what we will do, we will build this dashboard and we will be comparing our values which we are getting in Power BI. We will compare those with our SQL project, or we can say SQL queries. All right. So this will be, a two-way validation, which will help our customer that, yeah, whatever numbers we are showing into this particular dashboards are, we can say, pinpoint and very much correct. All right. So first of all, you can see in front of your screen, you can see at the top, we have added an KPI over here, and this KPI is actually built, as per the new card visual which was released in June 2023, that is in last month. And with respect to that, this particular card visual has been built, and you will be getting an idea of how to build this as well into this particular dashboard. All right. So this will be an helpful for you because we are going to use some advanced functionality in this. So at the top, you can see this is an KPI which gives us total revenue, average order values, pizzas sold, total orders, and with respect to that, what are the average pizzas per order, right? Then we can see there is a daily trend for total orders, which is a column chart. Then we have a monthly trend, which is, a line chart, so which gives us the trend for monthly orders. Then we will go ahead and find the donut charts, or we will design the donut charts, which will give an idea of the percentage of sales by pizza category and pizza size. Then we have this funnel chart which gives us the total pizza sold by pizza category. And at the left hand navigation pane, you can see we have two buttons over here. I will come back to that buttons. So first, what we will see, you can see I have added a few text lines over here which gives an insight of that particular charts which are mentioned over here. It is not a deep level but just an overall or higher level of insights, from which client can know that what insights or what is an that particular output from this particular chart or particular what we can say, that particular visualization. All right. So this gives us what are the busiest days and times, and here we have a sales performance. Okay. So here you can see busiest days and times. From these two particular charts we have an output over here, and from these two particular three charts we have an sales performance with respect to category and size. All right. And at the top you can see there are two filters by which we are going to operate this entire dashboard. And also, not only by this particular filter, we have some action filters also onto this dashboard. So first, let's operate it by using pizza category. So let's see if you want to see it for chicken or if you want to see it for classic. All right. So with respect to that, you can see the dashboard is changing. All right. So let's say we want to see it for classic, supreme, and veggie. So you can see we can see those particular values for whatever the pizza category we are choosing. All right. Similarly, if you want to see the data with respect to end date and start date, so you can enter the data over here. You can see the calendar is there. Here is the start calendar and here is the end calendar, and you can operate by using this particular slider also. So whenever I'm changing, you can see the data is changing with respect to that, and we are getting the output for that. All right. So not only this, we can see on this particular filter, there are some interactive filters also. So when I click on this bar, you can see we are getting the filtration of the values of this particular dashboard, or we can say of this entire dashboard. All right. So in this way, we can go ahead and design our dashboard. So right now, we can see you can see here these are So not only this, on this particular charts, if you can see, there are some action filters or interactive filters. So whenever I'm clicking on, let's say you want to see the data for Sunday. So when I click on Sunday, you can see all the charts are changing its value with respect to this particular filter. If I want to see it for Friday, you can see the values are changing and we can see the data for Friday. As well as, let's say we want to see it by pizza category. Okay, so when I click on, let's say, classic pizza, so you can see we will get the entire dashboard filtered for pizza category. Similarly, let's see we want to see for large pizza size. So when I click on this, you can see all the values are changing and we are getting the respective values onto this particular dashboard. So this is what an overall overview of this first dashboard. Then you can see I have added the two buttons over here. So right now you can see this is a home button which is in dark color. So right now this button is been selected. You can see the small arrow over here. It is nothing but that we are right now onto this particular dashboard. So if you want to see on the or if you want to move on the next dashboard, that is best or worst seller, so I will just click on this and you can see I have been redirected to our next dashboard, that is a best or worst seller. You can see it has been selected over here. So let me give you an overview of this dashboard. So at the top, I have kept the KPIs as same, okay, because the KPI gives us an overall idea and which will be same for all the dashboards, right? Then we can see I have, this is nothing but the best and worst seller pizza. We will be finding the best pizzas, top five pizzas, and worst is nothing but the bottom five pizzas. Okay, so this is the top five pizzas by revenue. These are the top five pizzas by quantity. Then we have top five pizzas by total orders. Similar, we will be finding by worst seller, that is the bottom five pizzas, and from here we will get an overall idea that which pizza is performing best or which is an underperforming piece, and what marketing actions can be taken with respect to that, what business decisions can be taken. All right, and similar way we have an insights added over here. So with respect to revenue, quantity, and total order, which is the best pizza, and with similar measures, which is the worst pizza. Okay, so with respect to that, the business owner or a restaurant owner can take an decision that which are the underperforming or best performing, and then he can go ahead and take more further actions like to give some discounts or to stop that particular pizza category which is not selling much. All right, so on this as well we can see this, there are some filters available. So if you want to see for only chicken pizza, the filters will be operated with respect to that, and you will be getting the values with respect to that. All right, so in this way we will be using this particular dashboard, and this is a complete dynamic, and we will see the step by step solution how to prepare each and every chart. All right, so now let's see what steps we are going to perform into this particular video. We will just see the brief or the introduction of the steps which we are going to perform, and in further part of video I will in detail explain each and every part and each and every step of this particular video. So the part one, what we will be doing here is we will be using an MS SQL server into this, and in MS SQL server, the first step what we will be doing is and importing the data into our MS SQL server. So we will be having a raw data. I will explain how what is the raw data actually, and this particular raw data we will be using, to import into our MS SQL server. We will see those steps. Then next, what we will do, we will see how to create a database into MS SQL server. Okay, and then we will import the files. Okay, then the third step what we will be doing is we will be writing the SQL queries into our MS SQL server database. So into this particular project we are having a problem statement which is given for us by our client, and with the use of that particular statements we will be firing some SQL queries and we will be getting those results. We will be also capturing those results, and we will see how to make a document as well. And the database queries which we are going to use are some of them are complex, some of them are easy, but we have a combination of both. So it will be a great learning for you if you already know MS SQL server or if you know queries as well. And most important part here is, guys, whatever queries I am using, these queries can be used in any SQL servers. Okay, or we can say I can say in any SQL databases. You can use the same queries in MySQL as well, in Postgres as well, or in Oracle as well. Okay, because whatever functions will be used, those are I can say are standard function or ASCII standard functions, right? Then let's move ahead. So next, what we will be going to see here is we will see how to create a report from MS SQL Server, because only writing queries and firing it is not enough. We have to create a report in such a way that so that these reports are helpful for a client as well as a new resource who will be working on this particular project whenever you are leaving from this particular project, right? So the document is necessary, and this is an helpful document because from this document we will be comparing our Power BI result with this document. So it is an supporting document, yeah, that supporting document that yeah, whatever we are showing in Power BI, it is matching with our SQL queries. Okay, so this is a very important thing. Whatever queries you are writing, save those queries as well as save the screenshot. Okay, and we will see how to do that, right? Then next, that is the part two, which we will be seeing is a Power BI. So in this particular, we are going to make Power BI desktop tool, and by using Power BI, we will be seeing some steps over here. So let's move ahead. Which steps we are going to see? So first, we will connect our MS SQL server with Power BI, right? So what data source we are going to use? The data source for us will be MS SQL server, because we have already imported our data into our MS SQL server, and we will connect our Power BI to MS SQL server directly, and we will start building our reports. So if you don't have MS SQL server, not to worry, you can directly use a flat file connection or CSV file connections, because the data which we are having is a CSV file, and you can directly use that file to connect with Power BI, and you can build the same reports, follow the same steps. Okay, so this is if you don't have an MS SQL server database installed in your system. So moving ahead, so what steps we will be seeing in Power BI is we will see some data cleaning process, and in this data cleaning process, we are going to see in Power Query tool. Okay, so we'll be using the transforming data tools or some functions in Power Query where we will do some data cleaning. All right. So moving ahead, we will do some data processing. So we will also clean or use some what we can say DAX functionalities in Power BI to get an custom columns, or we can say conditional columns into our report with respect to which or with respect to the problem statement we are having from our client. All right. So moving ahead, then or later we will be doing some data visualization. We will be building some charts. We will be using some advanced functionality to format those charts. All right. So we will see everything step by step. Next, we will build this particular what we can say dynamic and beautiful dashboard. So this is the first dashboard which I already shown you, and the second one we will be building this is the paste and was seller dashboards. We can see this will be our second dashboard. I will explain each and every step of this particular dashboard as well. Okay, so now moving ahead to our first step into this particular project is to understand what is the problem statement which is provided for us by our client. Okay, so now the client have divided the problem statement in two sections. The first section is the KPIs requirement. Okay, so he want us to design the KPIs with respect to whatever measures he have provided us. So the first measure he is asking us to design is the total revenue. Okay, and he have explained us the what is the total revenue meant. So the total revenue is nothing but the sum of total price of all the pizza orders. So total pizza orders, whatever the total price they are, what is the total price, that is nothing but the total revenue. So we'll just using the sum function over here. The second is average order value. So average order value is nothing but the average amount spent per order. Okay, so it is nothing but the average amount spent per order, and it is calculated by dividing the total revenue by total number of orders. So we have a formula as well here. So then total pizza sold, so this is nothing but sum of all the quantities of the pizza sold. The fourth one is the total orders. So it is nothing but the total number of orders placed. Okay. So how many orders were placed? Then last one is the average pizzas per order, right? So it is nothing but in one order how many pizzas are sold, right? So let's say you are ordering any pizza. So in one order, if you are ordering two pizzas, so that is nothing but an average pizzas per order. That is in one order you are ordering two pizzas, right? So in this way we'll be using, and for this we will be using a function or a calculation, that is total number of pizzas sold divided by the total number of orders. So very straightforward, we can say problem statement for KPIs requirement. So let's move ahead to our second section of requirement which we have is to so KPIs, what KPIs give us a overall idea of an business. Okay, So it gives us what we can say aggregation of values at very high level. But if you wanted to deep dive and see at what granularity your business is performing, you have to create some charts. Okay, and with respect to that only client have provided us, he want to understand some trends with respect to different fields which we are having in the data, and with respect to that he have identified some charts requirement for us. So first what he want to find out the daily trend for total orders, right? So in this he want us to create a bar chart where he will be identifying the daily trend of specific time period. Okay, so it will help him to understand what are the pattern or fluctuations in the order on daily basis, right? Then second one is monthly trend for orders, right? So he want us to create what we can say line chart, and from this chart he will understand in which month the maximum number of orders are sold, right? So he will be finding the pattern, like whether a summer season or winter season or rainy season, the number of orders are there. All right, then the third one is the percentage of sales by pizza category. So here he want us to create a pie or donut chart, whichever is suitable, and in this chart he will get an insight of popularity of the different various pizza categories and their contribution to the sales, right? So these were the first three, and moving ahead the fourth one is the percentage of sales by pizza size. Okay, so here again he wants us to create a pie chart with respect to the percentage of sales for different pizza size, and from here he will understand, like we can say, we as a customer, we give preference to which size of the pizza, whether we go with the regular size or we go with the large size of pizza. All right, so this by this he will understand which size of pizza is sold highest. The next one is total pizza sold by pizza category. So in this he want us to create a funnel chart, right? So where he will be, we will be getting an understanding of how to compare the different sales performance with respect to different pizza categories, right? The next one is he want us to find the top 5 best sellers by revenue, total quantity and total orders, right? So he want us to find the best sellers by using three measures: the revenue, quantity and the total measures or the total orders. From here he will identify which are the best seller pizzas, right? And he can focus on those particular pizzas, give some discounts to the customer, and earn more from there. And he also want us to find out the bottom 5 best seller pizza, or we can say the worst seller pizza. So there is a typo mistake here. So we want us to find out the bottom 5 worst seller pizza, and from here he will understand which are the underperforming pizzas, right? And from there he can take some market decisions if you want to remove those particular pizza, what we can say categories or the options from there. So this was all about the problem statement, and we are going to make use of this problem statement, to create the what we can say our SQL queries. We will save those queries, and then from there we will go ahead and prepare our the dashboard. All right, we will go step by step. So moving ahead, what software I am using here. So in this particular video, whatever software I'm using is the MS Office Excel version, which I am using is the 2021 MS Office version, and MS SQL Server version, which I'm the studio which I'm using is the 19.0, and the Server Management Studio is 19.0.20209.0. So you can go ahead and search on Google or on YouTube. There are plenty of videos available on how to install this particular what I can say the software or the MS SQL Server database. The next one is Power BI, which I'm using is the June 2023 version, and this is the latest version for me when I'm recording this particular video. And in this particular version or in this particular update, we are having you can say a new card visual which we are going to make use in this particular project. So we are using whatever the updated whatever updates we are having right now. So make sure you are updated your Power BI to June 2023 version. You can go ahead on Microsoft website and you can download the latest version and you can reinstall that. And I will show you, or I have also created one video on my channel on how to activate that particular card visual. You can go ahead and watch that. I will add the link in the description box of this particular video. So not to worry on that as well. You can go ahead and watch those video, and you can explore more options of how this new card visual is used. All right. So this is our data, which is a pizza sales data, and it is for a year of 2015. Okay, so it is a data for 1 year, and we have different fields here, columns here. We will see one by one what is the significance of those particular fields, and this is a currently CSV file. I will attach a link in the description box from where you can go ahead and download that. All right. So the first column, if you can see, the first is the pizza ID. So pizza ID is nothing but this will be our primary key, where you can see there will be a unique number to each and every row which we are having here. And in this particular pizza ID, so each pizza sold, okay, each pizzas, this particular data is for each pizza sold. Okay, so that particular ID is for pizza, and the second one is the order ID. So order ID, you can see there are some duplicates available here, right? So there are some duplicates available for each order ID. So it is nothing but in that particular, so let's say one particular person is an ordering, and you can see two is repeated 5 times. It is nothing but he have ordered 5 pizzas in that particular one order. So with that particular each pizza, we are having each row for that particular order. So you can see it is repeated. And in that particular thing, whatever pizzas he have ordered, whatever what each pizza is costing us, all these things are mentioned over here. All right. So you can see quantity. Then there is a pizza name ID. Then we have a quantity over here. Then we have the date of order which has been ordered, and what time that particular pizza has been ordered. You can see so for second one, you can see it has been ordered at 11:57 a.m. All right. And what is the unit price of each pizza? What is the total price? What was the size of that particular pizza, whether it was medium, large, extra large, or double extra large? What was its category? Classic, veggie, supreme, chicken, okay, veg or non-veg, likewise. What were the ingredients, what we can say toppings which were added onto that particular pizza, and what was the name of that pizza? Okay, so this much fields which we have, which is very much easy to understand the domain knowledge for us, because we all of us have ordered pizza in our life once or twice. Okay, so this is the total 12 number of fields which we are having, and the total size of the data which present here is 48,000. You can see 48,000 rows are there for this particular approximately, and we will be using this particular data to analyze. So now let's open our SQL Server Management Studio, and then we will import our this particular CSV file into our MS SQL Server, and we will start firing our queries with respect to what requirement document is provided to us. Okay, so I will just open the SQL Server Management Studio. So it will take some time to open, and so whatever server name you are seeing here, this is very much important, right? So this server name will be required for us whenever we are going to connect our Excel to our MS SQL server. So we have to provide our server name at that particular time. So you can either copy it and paste it at somewhere else, or you can just note it down and you can type it over there. All right. And I will just hit connect button, and you can see this is the UI of Server Management Studio, that is MS SQL Server. And yeah, there are different databases available over here. When I hit on this plus button, so these are the already created database which I was working on. So we will go ahead and create a new database for our pizza sales. So I will just click on this. Then you have to right click here, and you have to click on new database. All right. So in new database, you have to mention the name of here. So I will be mentioning it as pizza DB. Okay, I will mention it as pizza database, that is pizza DB. And you just have to click on OK. So you can see the database has been created over here. So just hit the plus button over here, and you can see the different elements available for this particular database. And we want to add a table over here. So right now there is no table added or no data is added for our database. So we have to import our data from our the flat file which we are using over here. So this is our flat file, and this flat file we will be importing into our database. All right. So we will go back to our server management studio, and how to import the data. So select the database which you have created, right click here, go to task. Okay, in task here you can see import flat file, not import data. You have to click on import flat file. I will just click over here, and you can see the import flat file dialog box has been opened. I will just click on next. Then it is asking us to browse the file, so from where you want to browse. I will just hit on browse button, and you can see it is mentioned in D drive. So I will, you wherever you have it your file, you can browse to that particular file, and I will just click open. Then I will just hit next. You can say whenever that particular file is open at your background in another application, first you have to close it. So I will just close this particular file first. I will just click on save, and now I will just go back again. And now, so you have to close whatever applications are open. That particular CSV file was open in MS Excel, so you have to close that. Then I will just hit next. Then you can see there is a preview of the data which is been imported here. You can check with whether all the columns are been brought up into this particular import file. Then you have to just click on next, and you can see there are different column names are there, whichever are there in our data, and different data type, which by default MS SQL server has assigned the data type for that. So it depends upon you if you want to change the data types for this. But I usually would like to change it. So whatever you can see at n varchar 50, wherever you are seeing this. So I will change this to varchar 50. Okay, so this is varchar 50. So this also I will change to varchar 50. Then the pizza category also I will change to varchar 50. And you can see this here n varchar and 100 is the particular size. So 100 is nothing but what how many text or word size can be taken into that particular column. But because pizza ingredients are there are maybe many pizza ingredients, so the length of that particular what we can say text into that column is greater than 100 or greater than 80, so we have to mention a higher side, what we can say the size for this. So we have chosen the 50, but I will mention it as 200 over here. Okay, so you can edit it. The pizza name also I will change it to varchar 50. Okay, so all this we have changed, and then we will go ahead and click on next, and I will click on finish. Okay, so it is giving us the error. So whatever error we are seeing, you can click on this error and you can see what error we are seeing here. So it is giving us that error that for column 1, that is for our order ID, it cannot be converted to tiny integer. Okay, so it is asking us, so that it has taken the tiny integer, so we have to change the data type of this. So I will just close this. I will just go to previous, hit one more time. So whatever we have at pizza ID, it cannot be tiny integer or small integer. So I will change it to integer. Okay. So why it is not taking? Because pizza ID, the IDs from serial numbers like 1, 2, 3. You can go ahead and check the data, and at the data is up to 48,000. Okay. So tiny integer is given to those only wherever there are single digit numbers are there. Okay, but our what we can say, the pizza ID is more than 100, more than 200, so we have to give it a proper integer. Same will be for order ID also, because order ID are also greater than 100 or 200, so we will change this also to integer. Okay, quantity can be tiny integer, because quantity max to max we are ordering a pizza up to 7 pizzas, 8 pizzas, so it is a single digit, so it can be taking a value as a tiny integer, that is small integer. Then I will just hit next, and I will click on finish. So it will take some time to complete it operation, and we will get a message over here, success. It means that our data has been imported over here. So I will just hit close button, and you can see that data file has been not, you can say, uploaded over here. So for that, what you have to do is, I will just right click here and I will refresh this. I will just refresh this, and then I will go into tables, and you can see our table has been added over here. So now we have want to see if our data has been correctly added or not. So I will just right click here and I will click on new query. Okay, so you can see a query window has been opened here, and I will just type our query over here, that is select star. Star means everything from what is our name of the what we can say data table which we have added is pizza underscore sales. Okay, pizza underscore sales. So this is our table. So make sure you are importing CSV file. Okay, CSV file only you have to import. XLSX file will be not imported into our MS SQL Server database. You have to import a comma separated file, that is CSV file only. All right, and I will just click on execute over here. So here you have to click on execute, and you can see this is the data which has been imported, and you can see the number of rows which are there, 48,620. The same number of rows were there into our flat file. So all the rows and all the data has been imported over here. So this is our data. Now we will go ahead and see our, with respect to our problem statements, we will go ahead and fire our queries so that we are getting output for those. Okay, and with the same we will also create our document as well. Okay, so we have imported our what we can say data. Then next we will start firing our queries with respect to our requirement document. So we will go to our requirement document, and the first requirement which we have over here is to find out the total revenue. Okay, so the total revenue is nothing but total price of all the pizza orders. Okay, so for that we will go to our server here, and we will fire some queries over here to get the total order, right? So I will just use a select statement for this. I will use select, and we want sum, right? So total revenue is nothing but sum of total price. Okay. So you can see this is the total price column which we have over here. So we will be using this particular column to get our total revenue. Okay. Sum of total underscore price. So make sure, because it is a case sensitive, whatever column name is there, use the same column name you have to enter in your query, because it is a case sensitive statement just for this particular column fields which are dragging or we are retrieving from your data, and we want to bring it from, okay, from where, this particular table, right? So what is the name of our table? That is pizza underscore sales. Okay, so this is our pizza underscore sales. I will just increase the site a bit, right? All right, so now I will just execute this. So you can see we have an total number of sales of 81,000 or $817,860. Okay, so you can see the no column name has been applied to this. So if you want to give some column name, after some you have to give some alias over here, that is a temporary column name which will be given to our output, and I will name it as total underscore revenue. Okay, so you have to mention underscore over here. You cannot mention a space, right? So it is again a case sensitive. You cannot mention a space into this particular MySQL server. So I will just hit OK. Now you can see it has been given a name over here. So this is our total revenue, and this is our output, that is 817860. So now most important thing is, whenever you are firing some queries, you have to save these queries. Whatever query you have written, you have to save this. Whatever result you are getting, you have to save this, because whenever your client is going to see this particular queries, he must know what queries you have fired and what output you have got, right? You cannot just fire it and you have just checked it up to yourself and you have deleted everything. No, you have to save it so that your users, your stakeholders, your clients, your colleagues might see that what query you have used. All right, so make sure. And for that, what we have done is we have to create a document over here, right? So I have created a document called Pizza Sales SQL Queries, and our first one is we are creating it for KPIs, and in first KPI we are finding it for total revenue. Okay, this is the query which we have. Okay, so what you have to do is you have to just select this, copy this, and you have to paste it over here, and you can take a screenshot of this particular this output which we have got over here, and you have to paste it over here, right? So this is the query and this is the output of that particular query. All right, so in this way you have to create a document. So right, so you have to create a document for each and every query over here. Whatever I have done, you have to create the document in same way. Okay, because this document will be required in future preferences. Okay, so if your client come back and say no, this result is wrong, then you can go ahead and show him the query. Yeah, this was the result which we got. All right, so I hope you have understood this. The next thing what we have to do is I will just delete this now, because we have got our first result, and I will just use this select star from. I will just bring the data in front of us so that with reference to that data we can find all the things. Okay, so this is the data in front of us again. Now, the second thing or the second requirement which is there for us is to determine average order value, and it is nothing but calculated by dividing the total revenue by total number of orders. Okay, so now total revenue we have already calculated, but we have to find out the total number of orders, right? So orders is nothing but we have to take count of this particular orders, right? But you can see there are some duplicates available over here, right? So if you take count this duplicate, this you can see 2 is repeated 5 times, so it will take the count of this each and every row at 5 times, right? So it is duplicating the result. So we don't want duplicate results, so we want a distinct count of each and every row of this particular column. Okay, so we will be taking a distinct count because there are repetitive values over here, right? Because this particular data which we are having, it is for pizza data. Okay, so each pizza ordered, that is particular data, it is not for order data. So order ID is repeated over here because in this particular order ID 5 pizzas were ordered. All right, so we have to take distinct count. I hope you have understood. So I will be using, so we have to find out the ratio, so I will be using select. Okay, so One second. So select, what we have to do is we have to take a ratio of what? Total revenue. So total revenue we know it is nothing but sum of what? Total underscore price. Okay, so this is our total revenue and we have to divide it by what? Count of, okay, so we will be dividing it by count of distinct. Okay, so we have to take distinct count of what? Order ID. Distinct count of order ID, order underscore ID. This is the column name. I will close this. Okay, and where do we want to bring it from? Pizza underscore sales. Okay, so we will select this. Okay, select. So if you run this query, you will get an error over here, right? Or you will be getting both the queries will be run. So I just want to run this particular query. So I'll just select this and I will then execute. So you can see where 38.30 is the average, what we can say, order value, or what we can say average order value. But we want to give the name to this. So I will giving here as alias, that is as average underscore order underscore value. Okay, and I will run this. I will select this and then I will run this. You can see the name of this column is given as a temporary name and the output is 38.30. In the same way, again, what you have to do, you have to save this query and you have to save the result for this query. Okay, so this is important. Okay, so we have got the second query as well. And the next thing what we will be doing is, with respect to requirement document, we have to find the total pizza sold. The total pizza sold is nothing but sum of all the quantities of the pizza sold. Okay, so I will just run this query and I will show you the data which we have. So we can see we have a name called quantity into our, a field called quantity into our data. So we have to take sum of all of these quantities, okay, so that we will be getting the total orders placed, right? So that is total pizza sold, right? Sorry. So we will just delete this and I will take the sum of, okay, we will be taking the sum of quantity. Okay, so this is sum of quantity and from pizza underscore sales. So I will just run this and we want this table to be named as total underscore pizza sold. All right, and I will just select this query and I will run this. So you can see 49574 are the total pizzas sold. Again, you can save this query and take the screenshot of it and bring it in your document. So these are the total pizzas sold into our data. Okay, the next requirement is to find out the total orders placed. Okay, so I will just run this query again to see our data. So we want to find out the total order placed. Okay, so total orders are nothing but we have to take count of this particular column, that is order ID, and we have to take a distinct count because there are repetitive values over here, right? So what we will do, I will just delete this. So I will just modify this query only. So we have to find out count of distinct. Okay, we will take distinct count of what? Order underscore ID. Okay, and we will name this column as, or the output should be named as total underscore orders. Okay, select this query and then run this. So you can see these were the total number of orders, that is 21,350. Okay, so if you can see into our document, the total pizzas sold were 49,000 and total orders are 21,000. So you can see almost for each and every order more than two pizzas are sold. Okay, so in this way we have to bring an insights over here. All right, so now I will just delete this, and the next document which we have, or the next requirement which we have, is average pizzas per order. Okay, so average pizzas per order is nothing but it is calculated with the ratio of dividing total number of pizzas sold by total number of orders, right? So total number of pizzas sold divided by total number of orders. So it is very simple. So we'll be using a select statement. Total number of pizzas sold is nothing but sum of what? Quantity. Okay, sum of quantity which we already determined, and total number of orders means nothing but count a distinct of order ID. So we will take count distinct of order underscore ID. Okay, from pizza underscore sales. Okay, so this is our query. So I will just run this, select this, and I will run this. So you can see two pizzas are there, right? but you cannot get a exact two value. There may be a fraction value like 2.1, 2.5, 2.56 likewise. So what this particular MS SQL server is doing is it is giving us, it is giving us the value, or it is rounding off the value, and it is giving us the result. Okay, but we want it in the decimal points. Okay, some decimal points should be given there. So what we have to do is we have to cast this particular numerator and cast this numerator denominator what in terms of decimals. Okay, so we have to convert this in terms of decimals. So to do that, what we will be doing, we will use a cast function over here, right? So for this I will be using a cast function. Okay, I will add a bracket over here. So I want to convert this particular quantity in decimals. Okay, so I will convert this into decimal. Okay, so I will name it as decimal, and I will use it as 10 comma. Okay, so now I have used this 10 comma 2, and I will end this bracket for cast here. So we are casting this, and we are converting the data type of this particular sum of quantity to decimal points. Okay, so we are using two decimal points, and 10 is nothing but we will be getting up to 10 decimal points, we will be getting the result, but out of that 10 we will be using only first two decimal points. Okay, so this is important to note, right? So what is the meaning of 10 and what is meaning of 2? The 10 is nothing but we will be getting an value as, like, let's say for example 156.56787899. So likewise, after decimal points there will be 10 digits, and out of that 10 digits we only want two digits to be appeared. Okay, so this is what we are going to use here, and similarly we will be using cast for this as well. So I will just use it on next line. So I will use cast, and I will convert this also to as decimal 10 comma 2. Same for this 10 comma 2, and I will close this bracket two times, and then we will run this particular query. So you can see we have got this value as 2.32. Okay, so this is the value which we are getting over here. And if you want to cast this entire result, right? So now the ratio, so we are using this particular ratio divided by this ratio. We have casted both of these, but the entire output is 2.32 whatever we are getting. But if you want to cast this entire output, right? So if you want only 2.32, you can add a cast for this entire ratio. Okay, it is not needed, but I will show you how we can do that. So I will add a one more cast over here for entire ratio. So I will add it here, and here what we will be doing is here at the output I will be using as decimal. Okay, and I will be using here 10 comma. Okay, I will close this, and I will close this second time, and when I run this particular thing, so you can see we are getting value as 2.32. All right, so in this way we have to convert our output. Okay, so first I've used cast for the numerator, then I've used cast to convert it into decimal for denominator, and I've used this cast for entire ratio. Okay, for this entire ratio I've used. Okay, and if you want, you can give a temporary name for this as average pizza. What should be the name? Average pizzas per order. Underscore order. Okay, and you can run this, and you can see average pizzas per order is given, and 2.32 is the answer which we are getting. So we have to copy this into our document, this particular query, and copy this as a result as well, so that you have to store the result. All right, so this was our KPIs. So we have determined all the KPIs. So we will go ahead and move to our charts requirement. Okay, so these charts are actually designed to be into Excel, but whatever values that will be displayed on the chart, we'll be finding it first in Excel, in SQL queries only. All right, so I will just delete this query for now, and I will just bring this query and I will execute C so that we can see our data over here. So first thing what he want is a daily trend for orders. Okay. So we want daily trend for our total orders. So in such a way that we will be getting an output from Saturday to Sunday or all the weekdays, and considering all the days in a week, considering all weekend days also, and with respect to that how many total number of orders were placed in each week. Okay, so to do this or to write this query I will be using select. Okay, and in this case we will be using a date function, that is date name. Okay, first I will write a query and I will then explain how we have how to understand this query, and I will be using an abbreviation or interval as DW. Then we want the date field is as order date, order underscore date. Okay, and I will mention this as, or the alias for this will be order underscore date. Okay, and what we want is, we want count with respect to this. Okay, so we want count of, okay, so we want count of order ID, so it is nothing but total orders, right? So we want count of total orders, we have to take distinct count. Okay, so I will be using distinct order ID. Okay, and I will name this column as total orders. Okay, and we want to bring it from pizza underscore sales. And always remember, whenever you are using an aggregate, okay, whenever you are bringing a column and you're using an aggregate with respect to any field or any measure in from your data, you have to always group by your particular thing. What we can say, you have to use a group by clause, so that it will be grouping that particular with respect to that particular date or day or category, and then it will be giving us an aggregated result. So always remember, you have to use a group by over here. Okay, group by whatever the categorical field we are using here. That is, this is our categorical field, and we will paste it over here. Okay, I will just run this query, and you can see with respect to, you can see this has been order day. So order day is nothing but this Saturday, Sunday, Wednesday, all the things, and we are having count as total order. So this is nothing but distinct count we are getting. So in this way we have formed our result. So what we have used here, we have used a date name function over here, and we are using a date DW. So this date name is nothing but it is an argument which is it is used to derive the date of the week. Okay, so DW is nothing but it retrieves a day of week as a character string, like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, etc. Okay, so DW is nothing but date of a week, which is used to convert our order day into a string, and it will retrieve the date name. Okay, and this is the date name, that is Saturday to Sunday or whatever it is. Okay, so right now it is disturbed, but it can work for us. We don't have to group by it, or we can say order by it. So in this way we have calculated our first chart. Okay, so we have derived our first chart, that is daily trend. Okay, then we will move ahead to our next one. So next we will find out the query for monthly trend of the orders. So in this we have to find out how many monthly the total orders have been placed, so that the customer can find out the peak months where the orders are placed, right? So for that, what we will do, I will write a query. So first I will write a query, and then I will explain you. So select date name. Okay, I will use a date name function, and in date name we want it for month, comma, for which month. So we want it for order underscore date, and we will name it as, okay, so for this we will name it as month name. Given a temporary name or alias as month name, comma. Okay, so what we want to show is the total orders. So total orders is nothing but we have to take count of distinct. Okay, count of distinct order ID. All right, because there are many order ID which are duplicates, so we have to take the distinct count, and from we have to bring it from pizza underscore sales table. All right, so this is what we want to retrieve from this particular table. But again, what we have to do is we have to group by. Okay, because we want it at aggregation level, right? So we want it to be grouped by that particular month. So we will group by. Okay, so we will group by it. Okay, and we will group it by this particular month. Control C, Control V, and we will run this query. So you can see with respect to different months, we have got the total order placed into that particular month. So and here you can see that the no column name has been added. So for this, we will add an alias as total orders. Okay. So make sure you are adding an underscore over here, because it will not take an space. Okay. So the name of the alias, whichever you are giving, it should be an continuous word. So for that, we are adding an we can say underscore over here. So when we execute this, you can see we are getting the total number of orders which are placed into that particular month. And in going ahead, if you want to find out it in descending order so that you will know which is the highest month and which is the lowest, for that what can you do is you can order by this particular total orders. Okay, so we will order by the total orders in descending order. Okay, so by default it will be ascending order, but if you want it in descending order, you have to mention this function called DESC. Okay, and now we will run this. So you can see July is the maximum, what we can say, the order placed month. Then we have May, then we have January, and the least one is the October month. All right, so from here we can find out different patterns, like in which season there are a maximum number of order placed. So from here we can guess that like around rainy season or summer season, as per the Indian calendar or the Indian weather, we can say the maximum number of orders are placed. All right, so we will be starting with our next requirement, that is third one, that is percentage of sales by pizza category. Okay, so here what we have to determine is the pizza by with respect to pizza category, we have to find out the sales, but we don't want the sales number, we have to find out the percentage of total. Okay, so first we will understand what should be the logic behind this. Okay, so how to determine the sales for that particular pizza category, and we have to find out the percentage. So percentage, how percentage is calculated? Percentage is nothing but we have to divide it by the total number of sales or over that particular what you can sales. Okay, so we will be dividing that particular pizza category sales divided by total number of sales, or we can say entire sales, into that particular data. So we have to take the ratio. Okay, so to do that, what we will be doing, if you are having still a confusion, you can go ahead and search how we determine the percentage of sales or percentage of total. Understand that logic, and then you will be able to understand this query whatever I'm writing here. Okay, so remember, we are taking the ratio, and at a denominator we will be taking total number of sales, and at numerator it will be with respect to category wise sales. Okay, so we will be writing in query as select. I'll be using a select statement again. So we want pizza category. Okay, so we have name here pizza category, so we have to use the name of that particular field, that is pizza category. Okay, so I will be using a pizza category, comma. Okay, so now with above in front of that pizza category, what we want is ratio. Okay, so we have to take a ratio in such a way that what we will be doing is we will be doing first as sum of, okay, sum of total underscore price. Okay, right. So for percentage, what we have to do is we have to take a ratio, and then we have to multiply it by 100, so that it will be converted to percentage. So we multiply that particular 100 at numerator. So what I will do, I will multiply 100 over here itself. Okay, then I will divide it by the total number of sales. Okay, so you can see these particular sales whatever we have taken here, it is with respect to that particular pizza category. Whichever pizza category we are taking, you will be getting in front of those sales, and that will be multiplied by 100. But at denominator, we want the sales of entire data. So for that we will write one more select statement. So I will write here select. Okay, so what we will be using here again, sum of total underscore price. Okay, and here we will be taking it from pizza underscore sales. Okay, and I will close this bracket. You can see this particular entire this statement is only written to get an entire sale. So if I select this and if I run only this particular thing, you can see I will be dividing this particular statement. I will be dividing it by the total number of value of sales, that is 81,000. Okay, so this is important for us to understand, because you should know the logic how to determine the percentage of total. All right. So this is what we want, and then what we will do, I will just go ahead and we will be taking again from pizza underscore sales. So now this pizza underscore sales is for this particular statement. Okay. For this we have already written over here. So this is for select, this is for this particular pizza. Okay, and then we have to group by. Okay, so always remember we have to group by with whatever categorical dimension we are using. So we'll be using this particular thing, and I will just try to run this. Okay, so you can see we are getting the percentage values over here. All right, and you can see the name is not given to this particular ratio. So what we will do, I will give the name to this particular ratio. as total. You can name it as total sales, or you can name it as total revenue. I will name it as total sales. Sales and revenue, it is one and the same. And I will what you can say, I will just run this. Okay, so it's not here. You have to name it as first here as total underscore sales. Okay, and then select this enter, and you can see pizza category. With respect to that, we are getting total sales, but it should be not total sales, it should be percentage of total. So I will just name it as percentage of total, that is PCT is nothing but a short form or abbreviation for percentage of sales. And then I will run it. So you can see for each pizza category, you can see for classic it is 26.90, chicken is 23.95. So with respect to that, we are getting the percentage of total with respect to pizza category. So let's say you want to mention the sum of total sales also over here. So what we can do, we can write one more thing here over, that is sum of total. It is an extra. Okay, so it is not as per our requirement. I will just mention here total price. Okay, as total underscore sales. Okay, and add one comma over here and then run this. Okay, so you can see if you want the total sales as well, you can get a total sales over here. All right. So now one more important point which I forgot to mention over here. So if you want to filter the data, okay. So this is the static query which gives the result for entire what we can say data set which is available with us. But if you want to filter this particular data for, let's say you want to see it for only January month. Okay, so to see the data for only January month, what we have to add here is we have to add a where clause where you will be using a filtering row by row. So we will be using a where clause. Okay, so now you want to see it for only first month. Okay, so I will be using a month function over here, that is for January. And what will be our date field which we will be using is order date is equal to 1. Okay, so when I run this particular query, you can see whatever values you are seeing over here, it is for first, means what we are seeing it for month of January. Okay, so this is important to note here. We are seeing it for month of January. So if you can see, I've added a note at the end over here. So you can see whenever I'm adding where month of order date is equal to 1, it is indicates that this is the output for January, and it can be applicable for all the queries which we are using here. You can apply it with respect to here as well. Whenever you are applying it, where that particular thing, that is where month of order date is equal to 1. So if you want to add it for quarter, you can see if you are applying date part quarter of order date is equal to 1, so it will give us the value for first quarter, because you might have seen in our Excel dashboard we are using a January filter over here. All right, so with respect to that, we have to find our values. All right, so you might have seen the percentage of total we are getting 2.27, 2.08. You might have seen that it is something wrong over here, right? So why it is giving us the wrong result? Because you can see we are using one more select statement over here, and whatever where clause is applied, it is applied to our external query. Okay, so we are using a subquery over here. So to apply this particular where clause in subquery, what we have to do, we have to copy this and we have to apply here as well. Okay, so in this particular where query also, because it is taking the total sales, but total sales should be also taken for that particular month also. So what we will do, I will just run this query, and now we are getting the correct result, that is 26, 23 and 24. So make sure whenever you are using a subquery and whenever you are applying a filter, that is where clause, it should be added in subquery as well. Okay, so in this way you can apply the filter and you can find out the values for different, you can say what we can say values also. If you can see for January, we are getting these particular values because we are going to apply some filters over here. You should apply the filters in query as well and find if we are getting the correct result or we are not getting the correct result. All right, so this is also important. We have must apply the filter in query also. So I hope you have understood. And moving ahead to our next one is, let's move ahead. So next requirement is percentage of sales by pizza size. Okay, so this is very much same. So I will just remove this first filter from here. Okay, so we will be using the same query here. Only instead of what we have to do is, instead of pizza category, we will be using pizza size. Okay, so I will just run this particular statement. This is the data. So we will be using pizza size now. Okay, so instead of pizza category, I will use pizza size. All other things will be same. So I'll just copy this and I will paste it over here. So this as well. Okay, and now if you run this query, so you will be getting the values with respect to pizza size over here. So if you want to group by or order by it, so I will just use an order by. So if you want to see the sizes with respect to, with percentage of total, I will just group by it by PCT, and I will just see it in a ascending order. So if you want to see it in descending order, we will add a here DESC. So by default it is ascending, but if you want to see it in descending, you have to add this function at end of the order clause, and then you can see the values are now in descending order. All right. So one more thing also you can do here, if you want to see it for only up to 2 decimal points, that is 45.89. So this is just I'm telling you an extra. So what you can do here is you can add a cast over here. Okay, so means what, I will just add a cast here, cast function. Okay, I will add a bracket, and it is dividing it by this, and at this end what I will add as decimal. Okay, we'll change it to decimal 10 comma 2. We'll close this bracket and I will close this one more bracket, and I will just run this. You can see we are getting at up to 2 decimal points. Okay, so in this way you can modify your query as per your requirement. So cast we are using to convert it into decimal, and then in decimal we are showing it up to only 2 decimal points. Okay, in this way we are forming our result. Similarly for this also, if you want to see the total sales up to 2 decimal points, again you can use your cast. Okay, and I will just add a bracket over here, and I will add a comma decimal 10 comma. Okay, so we have to remove the comma from here. I will close one more bracket and add it over here. Okay, not needed. And I will just run this. Okay, so we are getting an error over here at line 15. Okay, cost. Yeah, we have to add it as, and now you can see. So we are getting this also as per 2 decimal points. So in this way you can use your query, and again you can add your where clause as well. So make sure you are adding a where clause before a group by statement, and if you are adding a where clause here, make sure you are adding the where clause in this particular subquery as well. All right, so get the correct result. All right, so let us see it for quarter. Okay, so we'll see it for first quarter. So let's say we are adding a date part function over here, and date part should be what, quarter. Okay, and we are using here order underscore date, and we are seeing it for first quarter. So let's run this. Okay, so quarter is not an recognized hint option, so we'll just name. Okay, so make sure it is a case sensitive. Okay, and we will run this. Still not. Okay, where clause, where. Now I will run this, and you can see it is for first quarter, but make sure you are adding it here as well. So I'll just copy this, and we will add it over here as well. I will close the bracket. Okay, and now we will execute this. Oops, we will execute this, and you can see we are getting the result right now for first quarter. And in this way, by applying some filters in Excel as well as applying some filters in SQL, you can get this particular result. So I hope you have understood this. Okay. Okay, so moving ahead to our next problem statement, we will go ahead and find out the next, that is top 5 best sellers by revenue, total quantity and total orders. And in this we will also go ahead and find out the bottom 5. Okay, so because there will be a small difference in the query, we will simultaneously work on this problem statement. So first I will write a query to, get an orders, or we can say with respect to pizza name, which is the maximum selling or best revenue pizza. Okay, so for that I will write a select query. So select, okay, so select pizza name. Okay, so we want which pizza name is best seller, comma, and we want the sum of revenue. So I will use sum of, so instead for sum it is nothing but sum of total price, so it will be total underscore price. Okay, and we want it from where, from pizza underscore sales. Okay, so pizza underscore sales, and next again we have to group it by, because whenever you are using any aggregation in any of the statement, with respect to any of sub categorical or a field, so we have to group it by with respect to that field. So this is a thumb rule, and always remember that. So group by, so we'll use a group by. So we have to group it by pizza name, control C, control V. So let's see what will be the result of this. So when you run this query, you can see with respect to that pizza name, we are getting the revenue of that particular pizza. Okay, so you can see the name column name is not added here. So we'll give an alias here that as total underscore revenue. Okay, now we'll run this. So you can see we are getting different pizza name. With respect to different pizza name, we are getting the total sales done in entire year. But we just want top 5. Okay, but before getting top 5, what we want, we will group or we will order it by in descending order. So we will get which is the maximum selling, second selling, third selling, the best pizzas. Okay, so we will first group it by, okay, not group by, we will order by. Okay, so we will order by as total revenue. Okay, so when I hit this query, okay, so you are getting by default it is at ascending order. So if you are not mentioning anything here, it is by default in ascending order. But if you want it in descending order, you have to mention here DESC, which is a descending order. Now when I run this, you can see you are getting this particular results in descending order, that this Thai pizza is the maximum selling, that is making $43,434 of revenue. Okay, and these are the 5. Okay, we want this top 5. So to get or to limit our data to top 5, what we have to do, in front of select query, I will write a top function and I will write here top 5. Okay, so we want just top 5 pizza. Now I will execute this and you can see we are getting the top 5 pizza names. All right, so this will be by revenue. So these are the top 5 pizza names by revenue. And with respect to this, what you have to do is you have to save your query in the document in such a way that's right. So for top 5 pizza, this is the query which you are using, and the result you have to copy it. So this you have to do each and every time. So I will not repeat it again and again. You know that how to do. All right, so you have to just take screenshot, you have to copy this, and you have to create your own document. So these were top 5 pizzas. Now we want the bottom 5 pizzas. All right, so now to get bottom 5 pizzas, you don't have to do anything. Instead of descending, either you have to remove this or you can add ASC, because by default if you are removing it, it will be in ascending order, or if you are typing an ASC also, it will give us in ascending order only. And we want top 5 only. What we have to do, we have to reverse the order from descending order to ascending order. So what I will do, I will just run this and you can see these are the bottom 5. Okay, so this is the fifth last pizza which is the best seller, and this is the last one. Okay, so we are getting an idea of which are the worst seller, bottom 5 pizzas. So don't type your bottom. Okay, it will not give you a result. You have to just change this particular thing over here. So this is what we are finding this with respect to the total price. Now we will be finding the same query again. We just have to find it for now by quantity. Okay, so instead of quantity, what you have to do, you have to just write here sum of quantity. Okay, so this will be by sum of quantity, and we will name it as total quantity. Okay, and we will copy this, and you have to change this total revenue to total quantity. And now it is in ascending order, so whenever I'm running this query, it will give you bottom 5 pieces, it will not give you top 5. For getting top 5, what you have to do, you have to type your DSC. And now I will run this, and you can see these are the best seller top 5. Okay, these are the top 5 best sellers with respect to quantity. And if you want it the bottom 5, you have to just mention here ASC. And now when I run this, you can see these are the bottom 5. So it's very easy. So it is with respect to quantity. If you want it with respect to orders, so instead of sum, you have to, how we are taking the orders are count. Okay, we have to take count of distinct order ID. Okay, so this will be count of distinct order ID, and so it will be as total, not quantity, it will be as total orders. And I will copy this, and we have to change it here in order by clause. All right, and now when I run this, it will give you the bottom 5, but we want the top 5, so I will mention here DSC. And when I run this, so you will get the top 5 pizzas or the best sellers with respect to total orders. And if you want bottom 5 that are the worst sellers, you just have to add here ascending order. Or if you remove the ascending order also, By default it will be ascending, and when you run this query you will get automatically the bottom 5 bestsellers. All right, so in this way we have solved all our problem statements which are provided by the client for us, and we have solved it in MS SQL Server. Now we will be preparing our dashboard and we will be comparing our result, but before that we will see which document we have prepared. Okay, so always remember to make sure you have prepared this document, because it will be good for our reference to validate our result. Okay, so we have added all the queries, we have added our output over here, we have taken the snapshot of all the outputs. So this output or this query document can be used by your users, by your colleagues, by your clients to verify if we are getting the correct result or not. All right, so make sure you do that. So now guys, I have taken the new Power BI workbook file, and now what we will do, we will go ahead and connect our this Power BI file or the Power BI desktop to MS SQL Server database. But before that, what I will show you, if you have not updated or if you have updated your Power BI, if you are not updated, obviously you have to go ahead and update. Otherwise, you cannot use the new card visual which we are going to use. That is the June 2023 update. And if you are updated and if you still cannot see that particular visual into your particular Power BI, then what you have to do is you have to go into file, then you have to go into options and setting, then go to options, and here you have an option called as preview features. Go in preview features, and at last you can see a new card visual. So make sure this particular checkbox is ticked, and if it is not, you have to tick this, you have to click on OK. Then it will ask you to close and reopen your Tableau, and then you can see that particular option available for you. One more thing guys, you can see this on object interaction. So I have not this checked this particular checkbox. So when I do this, you can see whatever this particular visualization tab which we are having at this particular right hand side on this particular thing, you will be seeing that it has been moved at the top toolbar, right? And there are some advanced option, but this is feasible for me. I am handy to this particular option, so I have unchecked this. So it depends upon you what you have to use. All right, so make sure for new card visual you have checked this. I will just click on OK, and you can see this is the new card visual, right? So you can see card and in bracket the new is mentioned. It means that you have that particular new card visual. All right, so now we will go ahead and connect our Power BI to our MS SQL Server database. So for that, you can see we already have an option here called import data from MS SQL Server. All right. Or if you don't have that option, you can go ahead and click on get data. Okay. So there are some options available already here. And you can see there is an option called MS SQL Server or SQL Server database. You can use anything. And one more thing, if you don't have MS SQL Server installed into your system, you can go ahead and select a CSV file from here. Okay. So it means that you can just click on this particular text or CSV file, and you can use this particular connection as well. Right. So it depends upon you, whichever connections you have to use. So I will just close this for now. And next thing what I have to do is I will just click on MS SQL Server. Then it will ask me what is my server name. So I have told this multiple times. So always remember, whenever you open your MS SQL Server Server Studio, it will ask you to connect, and at the top the server name is mentioned. So for me, you can see here it is mentioned that Swapnajit slash SQL 2022. So this is for me, because for my system this is the name. For your system it will be different. Don't use the same name whichever I am using. It will be different for you. So I will be using for me, that is Swapnajit slash SQL Swapnajit slash SQL 2020. Okay, and the database name. You can see the database name which we are using here is PizzaDB. So I will mention that name over here, Pizza DB, and then just you have to hit on OK button. So it will take some time to connect with our database. So once it is connected, you can see SQL and then the name of the server and the Pizza DB, whatever that particular what we can say database is been fetched, and in that particular database we just have one file, that is pizza sales. So you just have to check this, and then it will give us a preview of the data over here. So it means it is just giving us few of the records, like if this particular data is correctly populated or not. Then next what you have to do, you have to just click on load. Okay, so once you hit load, it will take some time to load the data, and then after all the data is loaded, you will get an data out, what we can say, connected. So after that you have to go into data view. So just click on data view, and you can see this is the data whatever we are having, which has been connected from the MS SQL server database. All right, so this is the data which we are having over here. So now next thing what we have to do into this, after we have connected to MS SQL server database, we have to do some data cleaning. Okay, so always remember, there is some basic level of data cleaning is always done in all of the projects. And always remember, before designing or building any project or dashboard, first always go through data if it is cleaned with as per our requirement, because we already have a problem statement, and with respect to that problem statement, make sure that we have everything into our data, and which is cleaned, or which is in structured format. And always study the data, see from at higher granularity to lower granularity how the data is flowing. Because if you have studied the data properly, 60 to 70% of work is done over there only, and remaining 30% is just you have to bring it in the form of visualization. All right, so now we will do here some data cleaning. We can see your pizza size is there, and in this particular pizza size, if I see, there are abbreviations are used, right, like L, M, S, XL and double XL. But what we have to do is we have to give some names to it, like L represent large, then XL represent extra large, or X large we can say. S represent regular size of pizza. Okay, S will be regular and M should be small. So now how to do this? For that, what we will do, I will just click on this home tab, and here you can see the switch ribbon options. I will just click on this, and you can see the options are visible for me over here. So for this, what I will do, I will make use of Power Query to clean this data. So you have an option in Home tab or in Home ribbon, you have an option called Transform Data. So I will just click on this particular transform data, and a new Power Query editor window will be opened. Okay, so we can say what is this particular Power Query is nothing but in this particular window or in this particular Power Query, we cook our data. Okay, means what? We will make some modifications into our data, and these modifications will be taken back to our Power API, and then we can use that particular modified data to make our visualization. All right. So I hope you have understood this. The next thing what we have to do is we have to modify this particular, that is pizza size. And now what I will do, select this particular column. You can just click on this header, it will be selected. Then right click over here, and you can have option called replace values over here. So you just have to click on this, and a new dialog box will be opened. So first it is asking to replace what? Okay, so or we can say find that particular value. So I will just find M first. Okay, and I want to replace it with medium. Okay, so I just want to replace M with median. I will just hit on OK. You can see M is replaced with medium over here. And you can see at the right hand side, you have applied steps over here. So in this particular Power Query editor, what steps we are performing onto our data. So this has been what we can say, what we are cooking in the data, what ingredients we have added, everything will be mentioned over here. So what step we have performed? The first we have replaced value. Okay, so if you want to change this, you can double click on this, and if it is giving us that what we have changed over here. Okay, if you want to delete, you can see a cross option is there over here. You can just click on this and it will delete that particular step. All right, so if we have understood, then next again we will right click, and again we will replace the values. In here we will replace S with a regular. Okay, so S means nothing but a regular size of pizza. I will just hit OK. You can see S is converted to regular. Then again right click, replace values, and now we will replace L with large. Okay, I will replace L with large, and I will just hit OK. So you can see large is converted. So now you can see there are different options available. So now we can see X and L was present, because in Excel capital L was present, so it is converted to X large. But what we want is X large. In X and large we want one hyphen over there. So what we will do, I will just go ahead and I will find replace values, and in this I want X large. Okay, X large. Okay, so I'll just take X large. So I want X large to be replaced by X dash large, and I will just hit OK. And you can see it has been converted. Similarly, double XL will be also converted as double X hyphen or dash large. So guys, here you can see that this particular regular, because in that regular L was present and that L is also converted to large. So we have to do further again data cleaning. So what we will do, I will just press Control C. Okay, I will just copy this particular regular gear and select again this particular column, and I will right click again, and again I will go to replace values. Okay, and I will just paste it over here, Control V. So we want to replace this with regular. Okay, and I will just hit OK. So you can see that has been also converted. So you have to do this 2 to 3 or 4 times so that all our data is converted into proper format. There are different ways to do that, because here we just have 3 to 4 categorical values to be replaced. But if there are some more values, you can go ahead and do some m queries. Okay, and you can do replace that particular values. Okay, so now if you can see in this filter, you can see all have been replaced properly, that is large, medium, regular and X large. Okay, so right now, because we are only seeing here some part of the data, or you can say sample of the data, double X large is not been shown here, but we can go ahead and see that into our Power BI when we are closing this particular Power Query. So after we have done all the cleaning, you have to go into Home tab again, and you can see there is an option called Close and Apply. So as soon as I hit this button, what it will do, it will close the Power Query editor, and whatever changes here we have made, it will be applied to our Power BI. So I will just hit on this, and you can see we are back to our Power BI, and you can see it has been processed, and you can see the data has been changed over here. So if you can see here, all the abbreviations has been changed to this particular value. So after doing this, what we will do, we will start building our report, or we will start building our visuals with respect to the problem statement which we are having. And so in mean, or we can see in between, we have to make use of Power Query again and again, so that it will help us to transform our data with respect to the requirement which we are having. So first we will start the visual. So I will go back to our report view, and now the as per our requirement, if I go to the requirements, so first what we have to do is we have to build our KPIs, that is the total revenue, average order values, total pizzas sold, total orders, and average pizzas per order. So first what we want is the total revenue, and the total revenue is nothing but the sum of the total price. All right. So now first what we will do, we have our data over here. So I will just drop down or expand the options which we are having. And now in this particular thing, what before building, what we will do, we will create all our measures. Okay, so we will create all the KPIs first, and then we will build those into our visuals. So first what I will do, I will just right click anywhere, and I will create a new measure. So now we will be going to make use of DAX functions over here. All right, so first is what total revenue. I will just name it as total revenue. Okay, so the first is total revenue, and the total revenue is nothing but the sum of total price of all the pizzas. So it is nothing but sum of total price. Okay, so this is nothing but whenever we are taking the sum of total price, it will be for us the total revenue. The second one is to find out the average order value. But average order value is nothing but what? It is calculated by dividing total revenue by total number of orders, right? So before finding average order value, we have to first find out the total number of orders. That is nothing but this total orders, right? So we will first find out this fourth KPI, and then we will go ahead and find out the second one. And the fourth KPI is nothing but total number of order placed. So if we see our data, I will just show you the data. So we have to find out the total number of orders. So the total number of orders are nothing but the order ID. Okay. So in this data, which I already mentioned you, order ID is nothing but in one order how many pizzas are sold. And in this data is nothing but each row is represented to each pizza ordered. Okay. So in one order, there may be multiple pizzas, right? So there might be the case that there will be multiple duplicate orders are there, or we can say multiple duplicate order IDs, because let's say you're having an order ID of we can say 2. Okay, so 2 is nothing but 2 is an order ID, but in that particular order ID there may be 4 pizzas which may be ordered, right? And each for 4 pizzas there will be 4 rows, right? So in this case what we have to take, we have to take distinct count. All right, so what I will do, I will just go ahead and create a new measure, and I will name it as total orders. Okay, so total orders is nothing but distinct count. Okay, so we'll be taking distinct count of order ID. Okay, that is nothing but order ID. So I'll just increase the size of order ID. All right. So, and I will just hit okay. Perfect. Okay. So now next one is when we go to our uh, requirement, we have to find average order value, that is total revenue by total number of orders. So I'll just right click and I will create new measure, and it is nothing but total or average order value. Average order value. Okay. And we have to take sum, or we have to take a division of total revenue. We have to take division of total revenue divided by total orders. Okay, that is this. And I will just hit OK. Right. The next we have to find out total pizzas sold. So total pizzas sold are nothing but sum of quantities of all the pizzas. So we already have a quantity over here. So I will just take a new measure over here and I will name it as total pizzas sold. Okay. And it is nothing but sum of quantity. And I will just close this bracket and I will just hit OK. All right. So now next is what average pizzas per order. And average pizzas per order is nothing but total number of orders or the total number of pizzas sold divided by total number of orders. So I will take a new measure again, right click, new measure, and I will name this measure as average, oops, average pizzas per order. All right. And this will be total orders divided by total, sorry, it will be total pizzas sold divided by total number of orders, and I will just hit OK. And now you can see we have already created all our measures. All right, so now next what we will do, we will go ahead and build our first visual, that is the KPIs. And for that we are going to make use of new card visual, which I told you initially. So for that I have already told you what steps you have to follow. So here there is an option called new card visual. I will just click on this and you can see a new card visual has been, it has been displayed over here. The next thing what we have to do is we have to just add or drag our measures into that. So first what we want is the total revenue. So I will just take and put it over here. Okay, so this is our total revenue. Next is what the average order value. So I will just tick this. Okay, so just tick this checkbox, or you can drag it and keep it over here. The next one what we want is the total pizza sold. So we want here is total pizza sold. Next one is total orders, and last one is average pizzas per order. Okay, so when I increase this, you can see I will just increase this though, and I will just adjust this properly. So here you can see guys, automatically we have, or we get an our KPI card, and which is very time saving, because initially what we were doing is, initially what we used to do, we used to take this particular card, that is a simple card, and in by using this simple card we used to create first KPI, then again take that card, create second KPI. But what with this particular new update what we have got is, in this update we can directly convert our all of these particular measures into a KPI card. And if you want to show it horizontally, you can show horizontally or vertically or in the form of grid. So if you want to learn more about this particular card visual, you can go ahead and see my video on my channel. I will add that link in the description box as well. You can watch that complete video and you will get more idea of how this card visual is used. All right, so moving ahead. So next what we will do here is I will just increase the size, and now what we have to do, we have to do some formattings over here. All right, so what I will do, I will just go to our format visual, select this and then go to format visual, then go to call out. Okay, before call out what we will do, instead of using rectangle I will be using a rounded rectangle over here, and for rounded corners I will be using 10%. Okay, then we have to go call out value. So in call out value, make sure all is selected over here. So if you are selecting any individual, it will be converted, or that particular formatting will be done on the individual KPIs only. So make sure it is all, and here we will be using and font as 30. Okay, and we will be using it as bold, and the color which I will be using is this, that is theme color 50% darker blue. Then I will be using this color. Next one, the alignment we'll be using it as center. All right. Okay. So moving ahead, what we will do, we will format our labels as well. So for labels, I will be using as 11. Okay. And the font we will be using as Sagio UI semi bold. Right, and the color which we'll be using is this, that is the brown color. The next thing what we have to do is, instead of showing it as above, what we have to do is I will show it as below. Okay, so I want this to be mentioned at below over here. All right, so this is the way which we are going to do. Now we have to explore some more options as well. So I will just close the callout value now, and we open the layout. So the layout here, we want it as horizontal only, and this is the space between, that is what space we want this between this particular card. So if I increase the space, you can see the space has been increased, but for now I will just keep it as 5 only. Then go to cards. Okay, so now in cards, what we want here is whatever shadow we are going to, we have to give the shadow to this. I will just turn on the shadow, so you can see the shadow option has been given, but inside give, instead of giving it outside, I will give it as inside. Okay, so from inside I want to be this particular shadow to be applied. The next one, glow also I have to give, so I will just turn on the glow, and the glow also I want it from inside. Okay, and I want it to be as this color. Okay, I want it to be in black color. Okay, so we have applied the shadow as well. And the next thing what we have to do is, I want to add an accent bar. So we have to add image as well, but I will add first accent bar. So accent bar is nothing but a bar or a vertical line is been added to left, right, bottom of, or top, wherever you want. So when I just turn on, you can see the line has been added over here. So it depends where you want to show, if you want to show it right or bottom, wherever, or that top, wherever you want. But for now I will just show it at left, and here you can see what should be the width. So before that, I will just choose the color, so I will be using this color, and the width, I will be increasing the width up to 6 points. Okay, so I'll be using the 6 point width for this particular KPI card. All right, so now next what I will do here is, next what we have to add is images. Okay, for images, what we have to do, I will be adding an individual image in each and every what I can say, the KPI card. All right. So now to add an image, I will just open this image and I will turn on this. Okay. So to turn on, whenever I'm adding image by using all, okay, whenever I'm selecting here all, so image will be added in all of this particular KPI cards. But I don't want, I want individual image added to each and every card. So first, what I will do, I will select total revenue. So when I select total revenue, image will be added only in this particular KPI. So I will just go down, and it is asking me to browse the image. I will just browse here, and there are different images available over here. So first I will be using this particular, I will add the link in description box, from where you can go ahead and download these images. So I will just click on this, and you can see an image is added over here, but we want, it is giving us an option at which position you want this. So I will add it at top. I want at top this image to be added. Then it is asking us what should be the pixel size of image. So for me, the pixel size should be 30. Okay, so this is the pixel size which I am using, and it is asking us between this image and this KPI, should there be any gap. So I will just increase the gap here. You can see the gap is been increased, and I will increase it up to 10. Okay, so this will be the first image which I have added. Okay, so moving ahead to the next one, I will just go ahead and select the next. Okay, so just go up, and instead of total revenue, select average order value. Okay, and all this we are doing under cards. Okay, remember we are doing this under cards. Second one is average order value. Go down, select our image from here. For average order value, I will choose this particular image, this one. Okay, and I want it at top. Okay, similarly, the space between that should be 10, and the size should be 30 pixel. Okay, it should be 30 pixels. So this is my average order value. The next one, similar process we will follow. I will add it for total pizzas sold. Select the image, and for total pizzas sold, I will add this particular delivery man. I want it at top. It should be 10, and the pixel size should be 30. Okay. In similar way, we'll go ahead and add for total orders as well. So for total orders, I will just go ahead and select this particular. So this is my total orders. I will add at top 10, and the size should be 30. Okay. Similarly for average pizza sold. So this will be my average pizza sold. Browse the image and I will be using the image as this. Okay. And it should be at top. Padding should be of 10 and the size will be for me as 30. Okay. So in this we have already added all the images. Okay. So now next I will select this entire visualization, go to visualization, and in general what I will do, I will give the height and what we can say width for this. So width for B will be 1230. Okay, so this will be width and the height will be 140. Okay, so this will be the height and width for me, that is the total revenue. Or if you can see, if you want, you can increase the width some more. Okay, so this is fine. Okay, so this will be the KPI card which we have created. Now, next thing what we have to do is we have to go ahead and format or select our dashboard size. Okay, so we have to select a comfortable or a particular dashboard size where all our charts or all our images will be, properly placed, and the layout should be very much good, that it will be visually appealing, and all the things should be, clear to the user or the stakeholder who is going to use this particular. So the dashboard size which we will be choosing here is, so you have to just click on outside, do not select any chart over here, and you have to go in format your report page, and in canvas setting, instead of using and 16 as to 9, just go ahead and choose as custom. And for me I will be using height as 820 pixel, and the width for me which I will be using is 1500. Okay, so this will be our dashboard size, and the alignment will be using at the middle alignment. And the canvas background which we'll be using here, we will go ahead and I will just selecting this particular background, and the transparency I will be using as 85%. Okay, so this will be our dashboard size. Perfect. And so I'll just close this. And if you want, if you can see, you are using the scroll bar here. If you want, you can reduce the size from here. Okay, so you can see right now it is 75%. You can use custom. Let's say I will be using 80% for me. So you can see it has been perfectly fitting over here. All right. And now next thing what we are going to do here is I will just keep it over here. And next we'll go ahead and add our title of this particular dashboard. Okay, so go to visualization first, then go to insert first, go to shapes, and from here we will be adding this particular, that is a rounded tab both top. Okay, so I will be using this particular visual for us, and just go in general, go in properties, and we will define the height and width for this particular shape. So for us the height will be 65 and the width we are going to use is 1465. Okay, so this will be our height. Oops. Okay, 1465. Okay, so this is the size we are going to use. Just close this, and we will try to place it in proper way over here. Okay, we can just increase a bit. Perfect. Okay, so this will be our size over here, or this particular placeholder for our title. Then we have to just format this also. So I will just go ahead and we will go to shape, and in shape first we have to go to style, and in this we will change our colors. So go to more colors, and here I will be using an color code as hashtag 573B90. So this will be the color which I will be using. All right. Now next what we have to do is we have to give our name of the dashboard. All right. So to give the name of the dashboard, I will just select insert, go to insert, and from here select text box. Okay, and the name will be pizza sales report. Okay, so this is our name, and I will just select this, select the entire text, and we will be using the font as 20, and we'll be using Sagio UI, and we'll just use a bold over here. So I'll just reduce this now, and we'll place it into our this particular, we just center it and try to place it at this particular center. Perfect. Now just select this particular, go to our, just select this particular text box, go to effects and turn off the background. Okay, we don't want any background over here. Then select this entire text and make it white. Okay, and we will just keep it at top. All right. Next, what we have to do is we'll add the data is ranging from where. Okay, so I add one more text box over here, and here we will be adding it as from, we have the data is from January 15. Okay, the data is from January 15 to December 15. Okay, to December 15. So we have a data for 1 year. So we are showing here the data is ranging from where to where. Okay, so just go ahead and place it over here. And we have to go again to effects, turn off the background, select this entire text, and the font we will be using here is Consolas Italic, and the color we will be using is this. Okay, so just increase the size over here. Perfect. Alright, just select this and we can make it as bold. Perfect. So this is our pizza sales report. And if you want an add image over here, so just click on image and we will add a pizza image over here. So just reduce this and we'll place it over here. Nice and clean. Okay, just save it. Okay, so I'll save it later. Perfect. So this is our title, and now we'll just keep it over here properly. Perfect. So now we have designed our KPI over here, and the next part what we have to design is we have to go ahead and find out our the other charts. Okay, so the KPI part is done. So the next thing what we have to do, guys, is we have to compare whether our Power BI results are matching with our what we can say the results which we have extracted from our SQL queries. So first you can see the total revenue. If I match, the total revenue is 817860, which is 817.86K, which is the perfect match. The average order value is 38.30 or 38.31. This is also perfect match. Then the total pizzas sold here, we can see those are 50K over here. So here you can see it is almost 49,574, but because it has been converted to the number, so it has been giving us as 50K. But let's convert this to a proper number. So just select this, then go to our format visual and go to call out value over here. So first what I will do, I will just go in labels. And here you can see it is very much down. These labels are very much at the end of this particular edge. So what we can do, go into labels over here, go into spacings, and here you can see the vertical spacing. I will just reduce this to 4. Okay, so this is our vertical spacing. I will have reduced this, and now come back to our callout value at the top. So now I have to change the unit of this total pizza sold. Okay, so here I will go ahead and select the total pizza sold, but because I have to just change this unit of this particular thing, so you can see the display unit is auto. I will just select none, so you can see it has been converted here. Then similarly for total orders also I will go ahead and change this. So select total orders, and instead of auto you have to just click here none. All right, so you can see now if you compare this particular values, you can see 49574 is the perfect match. Similarly for total orders it is 21350 is the perfect match, and for average pizza sold it is 2.32 is the perfect match. So you have to compare your results of Power BI with SQL, make sure they are perfect match and there are no discrepancies or any deltas are shown over there. If it is there, then you are getting a wrong result in Power BI. So make sure, because anything you write any formulas, it doesn't mean that it is correct. You have to always go ahead and compare it with some solid foundation like SQL queries. All right, so I hope you have understood. Now next what we will do, we will go ahead and with our, as per our problem statement, we will go ahead and find our charts, or we will design our chart that is daily trend for total orders. Okay, so for daily trends of total orders, first we have to take shape over here. So I will just create one shape over here. So for that, go to insert, Then go to shapes and I will be using a rounded rectangle. So this is our rounded rectangle. Then go select this, go to general, and for properties I will be using a height for me will be 310, and the width I will be using is 565. Okay, so this will be our rounded rectangle. I will just try to place it over here. Okay, so now next thing what I will do here is I will just format this first. So just go to shape over here, and in shape you can see here, instead of rounded rectangles for 25%, I will just choose it as 6%. Okay, so I just don't want more of the corners to be selected. Okay, then go to style, and the color here which we'll be choosing here is we'll be using a white color. Okay, so this will be our white color, and I will just go to borders. Okay, so borders we'll be using here this border. Okay, so this will be our border, and next we have to use glow effects here. So I will just go in glow effects. I will just turn on this glow effects, and instead of this color I will be using this. Okay, so this will be our glow effects, and if you want this also you can choose. Okay, so this particular glow effect we'll be using, so it looks like something is been stick onto the dashboard, and on that dashboard or this stick we will be going and placing our chart which we are going to design in a few minutes. Okay, so now next what we have to do here is we have to create a bar chart that display daily trend. So now daily trend is nothing but we have to extract, let's say Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Likewise we have to extract first that from our order date. Okay, so if you go to our data view, here you can see there is an order date, but we don't have any column where there is a day or like Tuesday, Monday or Thursday which has been extracted from here. So now to do this again we have to make use of Power Query. So this is very important, guys. So I will just go to home over here, and here what we will be using, I will be using a transform data. So just as soon as I hit, we will go back to our Power Query editor over here, and here what we have to do is we have to change our what we can see, we have to extract our day from this particular date. So just select this order date. I have just selected this, then go to add column over here, just go to add column date, and in date here you can see there is a drop down over here and you have a day over here, and from here you have to select just name of the day. So as soon as I hit this, you can see a new day has been added, and it will be added at the end. You can see the day name is added over here, right? So here you can see the day name is added. So now I just wanted this day name, so I will just go back. So just go to home and just click on close and apply. So it will take some time to load the data, and here you can see at the end you can see the day name is added over here. All right, so in this way we have added our day name, but from this day name also we just want the first three initial letters. Okay, I just want first three initial letters from this particular day name. So how to get those? Okay, so for that what we will be using, we will be using a DAX function again. So for to write a DAX function, here you have a new column over here. So I will just click on new column, and I will name that column as order day. Okay, I will name it as order day, and I will be using here the upper function. Okay, so we'll be using upper, and what we want is left. Okay, just we want the left to be extracted, so I will be using left function. Upper you I'm using because I want that first three initial letter as an capital. Okay, so I'm using the upper function. Okay, I just increase the size here. Okay, so left, and so after left what it is asking, which column which we want it to be converted. So I want the day name, comma, and which how many number of characters you want, that is 3, because we want first 3 initial letters. I will just close and close this, and I will just hit enter. So you can see the Friday has been converted to FRI. So that is nothing but the initials we have got. All right, so I hope you have understood. So now we will go back to our report view. Okay, so now this was very important steps, because we will be doing some frequently use of Power Query editor, to transform our data or cook our data. All right. So now next, what we will do, we will just sorry. So let me check. Okay, it's done. All right. So now next, what we will have to do is I will take a column chart from here. So this is my column chart. We'll just reduce it. Okay, and I will place it over here, just increase the size. Okay, so this is my column chart, and now I have to add the x-axis and y-axis from here. So x-axis will be what? So y-axis will be my order day, So this will be y-axis. I will just put it into y-axis, or I will just first close this order day, and on y-axis, or right on x-axis, I want order day, and I want it to be total orders. We want to see the total orders with respect to the order days. Okay, so this is our total orders by order day. So now what we have to do, we have to do some visualization, or we have to format our visual. So first I will just adjust my visual properly over here, make sure it is perfectly adjusted. Alright, so this looks good. Now next, select this visual, go to our format visual, go to general first, go in effects and turn off the background. Okay, although it is white, but just we have to turn off so that edges will be not coming out of this particular shapes. Okay, then go to visual again. So we don't want the x-axis. So we want x-axis, but we don't want the label of this. So just drop down here and turn off the title of this. Okay, then y-axis, as we are going to show the data labels here, so we don't want the y-axis as well. Similarly, its title also we don't want. Okay, so we'll just turn off the title. So this was all about x-axis, and the grid lines we have already turned off. The next one is columns. Okay, so now what we are going to do here is we are going to give some conditional formatting colors to these columns. Okay, so here instead of giving a static color, we will be giving a dynamic color. So we have to just click on this conditional formatting. So as soon as I hit this, a new dialog box will be opened. So we don't want give it rules. We want it to be given by gradient. So select gradient here, and you have to select by which field you have to give. So we have to give it by total orders, because we are showing it with respect to the total orders here, right? The next one, we'll choose here color. I will just go in more colors, and I will be using my own color as hashtag EB895F. Okay, 5F. So this will be my color, first color. Then the highest color will be, I'll just go in more colors, and I will change it here as hashtag 73361C. Okay, so this will be my next color. So just click on OK. Now, so this is our color, and now next what we have to do here is I'll just click here. So this legend I don't want here, so I will just turn off this legend. Now what we will do, I will add the data labels. I will just turn off the data labels, turn on it. So then go to values, and from here we will select a black color, and from here I will select the Sergio UI semi bold, and a font I will be using as 10, or you can use 11. Okay, I will just use 10.5. Okay, perfect. And the display units are auto. Similarly, what we will do, we will change our x-axis as well. Okay, so go to x-axis, and here the values will be semi bold, choose it as black. Okay, and increase it to 10. Okay, so this will be our x-axis. Perfect. So now one thing you might have noted over here, that it is not been right. So from Friday, Thursday, so it is not in sequence of our week. So it should be starting from Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Likewise, it is not in perfect sorting order. So if you try to change the sorting order from here also, if I click on order day, so it is giving us with respect to alphabetical order. So if I change it to descending also, or ascending, it will give us in different order. So it is not giving us the order we want. Okay, so select this chart. First we will just reduce this bar size first. Okay, first we will change this, and I will show you how to do. So you go in spacings, go in colors, columns, and spacings, and inner padding I will be using as 40. Okay, so this will be the bar size which we'll be using. The next thing, we have to show it in sequence. Okay, so to show in sequence, we cannot directly sort it from here. So for that we have to create one more measure, and that from that measure we have to sort it. So now to create that particular measure, what we have to do is we will go back again to our Power Query editor, and from there we will add the numbers to this particular days. Okay, so I will just go to home and then click on transform data. Okay, so once you hit the transform data, so I will just go to add a column. So just go to add a column, and from here I will create one conditional column. So I will just click on conditional column, and I will name that column as day number. Okay, so this will be my name of the column, and you want to design it with respect to which column. So I want it to be day name. Okay, so day name is nothing but what I am doing here is, so with respect to that day name, I will give the number to this. Okay, so if the value is, let's say, Sunday. Okay, if it is Sunday, then I want it to be given as 1 as the number. And make sure you are not making any typo mistake, because this is case sensitive. If you're writing as all the letters as small or all letters as capital, it will give an error. It will not give you as an out. Okay. So make sure it is case sensitive. First letter is capital and others are small. Whatever there is in the data, you have to write same over here. I will add one more clause here. So day name, if it is equal to Saturday, after Sunday, what comes? Monday. So for Monday, there should be the second number. Okay. Similarly, I will add one more clause for day name. If it is equal to Tuesday, I will add it as 3. Then after Tuesday, it comes as Wednesday. Okay, Wednesday, it should be 4. Similarly, for the next, if it is equal to Thursday, so for Thursday equal to 5. Similarly, choose one more Thursday, then it will be Friday. It will be equal to 6, and add one more clause if the day name is equal to Saturday. Okay, if it is equal to Saturday, we want it to be 7. Okay, so this is the sequence, that is Sunday to Saturday. These will be the numbers. I will just hit OK, and you can see a new it has been created. So if it is showing us 1 to 7, then it is correct in this filter. But if it is not showing any of the number, so something you have typed wrong and you have entered something wrong. So just hit OK, and then go to home button. Okay, just go to home button and click on close and apply. So this particular column will be visible for us into our data. Okay, so if you go to data here, so you can see that column is added at this end. Okay, so Friday falls at 6 number, right? So just go back to our report page, and now we will be using a format option over here. So now you can see we have built this using order day. So just select this order day, and this order day we will be sorting. Okay, so when I select order day, go to column tools, and here you can see the sort by column, and choose here, instead of order day, choose your day number. Okay, so as soon as I hit day number, you can see it has been converted from Sunday, Monday, Tuesday to Saturday. Make sure in sort axis it is order day and it is in ascending order. Order day is selected and it is in ascending order. Okay, so you can see we have got it from Sunday, Monday, Tuesday with the day sequence, however, like how it is there into our actual days. Okay, so I'll just make it a below down, a bit down, not much. Okay, looks nice. So now go ahead and again compare this with our results, right? So check if it is correct or not. So you can see for Saturday it is 3158. So Saturday, as it is converted to display units, you can go ahead and change the display units and see, and I'm sure you will be getting the same answers over here. All right. So this was our first chart which we have created. The second one, as per our customer requirement, if you go and see, it is the monthly trend we have to find. Okay. And we have to give the name of this chart first. I will just copy this. So the name of this should be, select this chart, go to visuals, then go to general, in title, just delete this and I will paste this. Okay, and the font I will be using here is semi bold, and I will be using font as 12, and the color I will be using is this. Okay, so this is our first chart. Then we will go ahead and prepare our second chart. So for that I will just select this shape, Control C, Control V, and I will use this shape, same shape over here, and I will just increase it. Perfect. Okay, so we'll be using the same shape, and next what we have to find it is monthly orders. All right, so now again, guys, we have to go ahead and find out our month over here. Okay, so we have the month in date hierarchy, we have a month over here, but we cannot sort this particular month. So we will go ahead and create our month again by going into our Power Query editor. So we will go again to our home, go to our transform data, and from here, from date which we are having, we will extract the month from this date. Okay, so for that what I will do, I will just go to add column, go to date, and from here we have to select the month, or we want the name of month. So as soon as I hit here, you can see the name of month has been added over here. Also, what we will do, we will find out the month number as well. So just go to add column, go to date, and from here I will just select month. Okay, you can see the month number has been also added. And from here I will just go ahead and we can just rename the column as month number. Okay, so what I shown you for this particular thing is, let's see if we can add it from here as well. So just first select our date. Okay, and if I go here and in day, you can see the day is also available here, which gives us the day. From here we can get the day here, but I purposefully not use this because you have learned something new from here, that is how to convert a conditional new column, or we have this option as well, but we are not using this, so I will just delete because from here also you will get which day we are using. All right, but it will give you something different result, so I will just remove for now. Okay, the next thing what we will be doing here is we have got the month and month number. Okay, so for January it will be 1. Similarly, if you go down, let's see if we have February, or we will see that next. Okay, so just go ahead and home and just click on close and apply. Okay, so it will take some time to get our new data, and just go to data view over here, and here you can see there are different numbers are there, right? So like 12, 13, 14, sorry, not 13 because we have just 12 months. So for different months, you can see for February it is giving us 2 months. Now one more thing here, guys, we have to do one more calculation, because here we just want first three initials and that too should be capital, right? So now we will write one more calculation. We have done this for, right, so for Friday we have done this, so I will just copy this again, and we will go ahead and use new column. Okay, and I will paste this, and instead of order day we want here order month. Okay, and we'll be using upper left, instead of day name we want here month name, and that's free, and just hit enter. Okay, you can see we have got the extraction from January as JN as capital. Okay, so I am doing this quick because we have done already in the previous chart these steps. Now go back to our report view, and now we have to build our visualization. So now to build our visualization, we want a line area chart I will be taking. So I've taken an area chart from here. So I will just reduce this. Okay, bring it over here. Perfect. Now what we will do, I will take a month name from here. So this is the month name, and on y-axis we are going to show the total orders. Okay, so we can see not this month name. We are going to use order day, order month. Okay, we are going to use order month. All right. So now we have to do some formattings again over here, because you can see it is not been sorted or in ascending order, right? From January we want it from January to December, like January, February, March, April, May. Right. So we again have to sort this particular column. So just select this order month, and you can see you have to go in column tools and you have to sort it by month number, and just hit this, and you can see it is still not sorted because we have to select from here options. Okay, so just go to these options, and from here select from order month, right? But it is in descending order, so just go ahead and select it in ascending order. Okay, so now you can see from January to December in serial wise we are getting this from. So now select this. I will just increase the size in this way. Now select this particular chart, go to format visuals. So we don't want x-axis label, so I will just turn off this. On y-axis we don't want anything, I will just turn off everything. Okay. And on x-axis, the values we'll be using as semi-bold, 10, and we'll be using as this color. Okay. Similarly, on y-axis, we'll turn off y-axis. Then we want to give the data labels over here. So go to lines, and in line, the color we'll be using as this color. Okay. So we'll be using this particular color. Okay, and the shaded area which you are going to see here, will reduce it to 20%, not 20%, we'll reduce to 80%. Okay, or we'll increase more to 85%. Okay, so this looks good. And now we'll go to markers. Okay, so we'll turn on the markers, and we want the marker size to be 6. Color, we'll be using the same color. Then we'll go to data labels, turn on the data labels. Okay, values, we want it as 10 and we want it as semi bold. Okay, and we will be using as black color. Okay, similarly for background also I will just turn off the background and I will be using this background. Okay, and I will just reduce the transparency to, let's say, 65%. Okay, so this will be our background. Perfect, looks nice. And now I will change the name of this particular chart. So I'll just copy this monthly trend, select this, go to general, go to effects, first turn off the background, then go to title, and I will choose this particular title over here. Perfect. All right, first we'll change the title color as well. We'll be using this color. All right, so we have already, build our daily and monthly trend. And you can, for this monthly trend also, if you can match the values over here, you can see for January it is 1865. So here you can see for January it is 1865, for February it is 1685, and you can compare all the other values and you will get a perfect match over here. All right, so let's move ahead and find our other problem statements or the visuals. Let's design our visuals for the other problem statement. So next we have to find out is the percentage of sales by pizza category. Okay, so for that first I will take this particular visual, control C, control V. I've just taken the shape, not the entire visual over here, and I will place it properly over here. Perfect. Okay, and just reduce the size, and I will just create one more, control C, control V, just place it over here. And we make sure you are creating an almost equal size of visuals over here so that all the values are taken properly. Okay, control C, control V, just reduce this, use this as well, and this. Perfect. Okay, so this will be our placeholders. Okay, you can anytime go ahead and use your properties tab to make them all of them equal. I will not match or waste much time on that. Perfect. So moving ahead. So next what we have to do is find out the percentage of sales by pizza category. So and we are going to use make use of the pie chart where a donut chart actually. So we are going to take a donut chart. So I will just try to place it over here. And in this donut chart, first we want the pizza category. So we have a pizza category over here and we want it with respect to the sales. The sales is nothing but the total revenue. So this is our total revenue. Okay. And we will just try to place it perfectly over here. So just increase the size and I will place it over here properly. And the next what we have to do here is the first thing we will just format the charts quickly. So just go to format your visuals and we want the legends to be shown. And here you can see we don't want the what we can say the sales. We just want to show the percentage over here. So go to details and here label contents just select as percentage of total. Okay, and go to values and here we are going to use semi bold. Go to selection of 10 and we'll choose here the black color. All right, perfect. And the next what we have to change the name. Okay, so I will just copy it from here, the percentage. Okay, and go to general, go to effects, first turn off the background, go to title and paste it over here. And I will just add here as percentage. Okay, and the font will be using as semi bold and as 11, or we can use it as 12 also. Okay, color will be this. Perfect. So very easy. So this is our percentage of sales by pizza category. Next we have to find out the percentage of sales by pizza size. Okay, so we'll be using same. I will just copy the same visual. Okay, and I will try to place it over here. Okay, so we'll be using same visual. So instead of pizza category we want here what, pizza size. I will just delete this and we will be adding from here as pizza size. Okay, so this is our pizza size. Perfect. And we don't have to do any change of the colors. If you want you can go ahead and change the colors whichever you want. So I'll just go ahead and here and in slices what I will do, I will just select this, and in rotation I will just increase the rotation so that this visual is also available for us. Okay, so I will just increase it by 2% so that the other label, that is the smallest color which we have here, is that is for double XL, is available for us. Now next thing what we have to do guys here is we have to compare this and see whether we are getting the same results as in our SQL also. So we'll just go down over here, and here you can see the percentage of sold by pizza category. So for pizza category, you can see this is for veggie and the total revenue is 193, and so veggie it is 193k and it is 23.68, so it is perfectly matching. Similarly for supreme, if you go for supreme, it is 208,197 and 25.46. So 208,197 and 24 and 25.46, so exact match we are getting. Similarly for pizza size also, if you can see, for large it is 45.89. So see, you can see for large it is 45.89, and the sales are 375,318. So these are the same results which we have got through firing the SQL queries. Okay, so we are sure that we are getting an perfect match over here. All right, so I hope you have understood. And guys, if you have come at this point of the video and you are doing great guys, you are learning new things, so I request you to go ahead and like the channel, sorry, the like the video, subscribe the channel, and share it with your friends. Okay, so this is very important for me guys, because it will keep me motivated to make such beautiful projects for you. And right, so just please go ahead and subscribe the channel and like this video. Add your beautiful comments so that it will get and reach to all of the students who are in need. All right, the next one what we have to find out as per our requirement document is the total pizzas sold by pizza category. So first what we will do, I will just go ahead and change the name of this. So instead of percentage of sale by pizza category, we want it by pizza size. So just change it to pizza size. Okay, and next what we have to do here is we have to create one more chart, and here we will be using a funnel chart. Okay, so just select outside, and here we will be choosing the funnel chart. Here it is. Okay, so this is our funnel chart, and so in funnel chart we want it with respect to pizza size or not a pizza category. Okay, so total pizza sold we want with respect to the pizza category. So here is our pizza category. We want total pizza sold is nothing but this. Okay, so this is our total pizza sold. So I will just increase the size of this. Now we will just format our visuals. So in data, or we can see in conversion rate, that is 100 to 474, we don't want this conversion rate. All right, so in colors, we'll go ahead and we will be using a conditional formatting colors over here. So just click on this conditional formatting, and instead of rule, we will be using a gradient function over here. And we want, we are using here what total pizza sold. So choose total pizza sold from here. Okay. So by using total pizza sold, the lowest value color we'll be using as, I will be using the color code as 414 FB1. Okay, so this will be the color. And for maximum, I will be using as AD. It is hashtag AD 5129. Okay, perfect. I'll just click on OK. So you can see the maximum one is given the this different color. Here also we are giving the maximum one as a different color, so that it will be highlighted that this is the maximum. And with respect to that, you will get an the perfect visualization. All right. So this is the thing. Then for data labels, so for values in units, we'll choose none because we want all to be shown. Values we will be using as 11, and we'll be using as semi bold. Okay, or we can use 10 itself. Okay, so we'll use 10.5. Okay, and we'll be using the color as white. Okay, so this will be our, and for category labels also we'll use semi bold, and we'll be using blue color, or we'll keep it as black only. Perfect. All right. So here you can see the classic category is selling a highest pizza. So we will be finding out our insights over here in some time. So this is our thing. Now let's change the title of this. So we just go in general, go in title. From here I will just copy this title, that is total pizza sold by pizza category. Control V, and we will be using as semi bold. Color will be this and 12. Perfect. Or you can use bold also. This also looks nice. And here also we'll be use bold. Bold 12. Similarly here as well. Okay, this looks nice. Perfect. All right, so we have designed all the chart over here. Now what we have to do is we have to create one insights over here. Then we have to add some slicers as well. Okay, so I will take a shape from here again. I will just copy this, Control C, Control V, and we will try to place it over here. Okay, so just reduce this. And we'll increase it vertically as well. Perfect. So now select this particular shape, go to our format tab, go to shape, and in style we will add a color to this. Okay, so we'll add this color, but we'll increase the transparency of this to 50%. Okay, so we'll be using this shape, and here what we'll be doing here is, so you can see if I show you the original dashboard, here you can see there are two buttons available here. That buttons I will add in the later, because we have to create the second dashboard, so these buttons will be working. So just what we will do, we'll add this particular insights whatever we are getting from here. So to add this, what I will do, I will just go to insert. First I will add a text box, and from here text box what we have to add is busiest days and times. So I just copy it from here only. It will, or I will just add it here. Okay, so busiest days and times, and select this, and I will be using it as Calibri, and the font I will be using it as 16. Okay, and I will make it as bold. Just choose it as center. So you can see it has been gone behind this shape. So just select this shape, go to format, and click on send backward. Okay, click on multiple times. Okay, so it will go backward. Okay, so now we can see it has came in over front. Perfect. And we'll just move it upward. All right. Then go to select that and go to effects, and we'll use the background color as this, or we'll use it as this. Perfect. Then select this, and we'll make it as white color. Okay. Now next we'll add one more text box. Okay, and we have to, I'll just add it over here perfectly. And from here I will just copy this and I will explain you what I'm doing. Control C. I'll just paste it over here. Okay. Perfect. So from here, what we are showing is from days. Okay. So if you can see here, so I will just, if I select this, and so from days, what we can see here, orders are highest on Friday and Saturday. So from Friday and Saturday, or we can say Thursday also, the high orders are highest. So we are getting an insight from here. Similarly for monthly, if you can see, the orders are highest on July and January. You can see on July and on January months, the high orders are highest. Similarly on March. So there is a trend which can be found out. You can see in winter seasons the orders are going down. So those are the orders are again going down here as well. So in winter season, just on January, the orders are high, and it is good in all over the the summer season. So from here we can get some an insight from here. All right. So this is an insight which is taken out from this particular chart here. All right. So I hope you have understood from here. And now what I will do here is I will just select this and go to, or I will just select this particular shape here, the text box, and go to general, go to effects. From here we will add a border to this. Okay, so this will be the border which we'll be using, this particular border. Okay, so you can see we have added the border over here. The same way we will be using for this particular below charts as well. So what I will do is I will just copy this, Control C, Control V. I will take it and I will try to place it over here. Okay, and similarly I will just copy this text box also, Control C, Control V. I will try to move it over here. Just reduce the size. Perfect. So now what we will do, I will just copy this, whatever we are having, just Control C, and I will paste it over here. Control V. All right. So these are the insights for this particular, whatever we can see from, instead of busiest days, we want here sales performance. I'll just name it as sales performance. I'm directly copying and pasting because it will save us the time. You can go ahead and type this in your text box. So this is nothing but days. I'm using the 14 font Sagio bold, and I'm using the different colors for this, as well as in this particular different words I'm using different colors. You can go and select these words, and from here you can change the colors whichever you want. And for this I'm using 12 and Sagio bold. Okay, so I've shown you the fonts which I'm using here. So similarly from here you can see the classic category contributes to the maximum sales. You can see here the classic category contributes to maximum sales, and the large size pizza also contributes to maximum sales. Alright, so from here also you can see the classic category is the best performing category. Alright, so from here we will get an overall, or we can say the rough idea, like how or what the data is giving us an output. All right. So now next what we will do, we will go ahead and add our slicers at this top over here. So from here you can go ahead and select the slicer. Here you have an option of slicer. So this is the slicer which you are going to use. And the first slicer which we are going to use is the pizza category. So just select this pizza category and then go to format visuals. And in slicer settings, instead of vertical, we are going to use drop down list. Go to selection and select, we are going to use all button over here, right? So we want here select all button. Okay, like select all right. Now we'll try to place it over here properly. Just reduce this. All right, so now we will format this particular slicer. So go to general, go in effects and turn off this. Okay, and go to visual again, and in values you can go ahead and select it is in white color. Okay, similarly header also, we want the header as pizza category. Okay, and we'll choose it as Sergio bold 11 and color as white. Okay, and you can see this background also, we have to you can make that as white or some other colors. Okay, so in go in values, and you can see your background is there, and here you can select this background. Okay, you can see the background will have some color so that values will be visible. So whenever I'm operating, so you can see the values are changing with respect to the filters or that particular pizza category we are selecting. Okay, so similarly we have to add a date slicer also. So I will just Control C and Control V. So I will just create one more instance and I will try to place it over here. Okay, and from here instead of this, go to here, build visual, delete this, and here I will choose it as order date. So this is our order date. Oops, close this, and order date Okay, so this is our order date because the category, what we can say, we have to turn off the slicer header. Okay, so I've just turned off, then go to slicer settings, and instead of drop down, we want it to be relative date, not relative, and we want the slicer settings. Okay, between. Okay, so the between we want, and we want a slider. So the slider is visible. Okay, so we'll just take it up. Okay, take it a bit up. Slider we'll be using of this color. Okay, so this is our slider. The values we'll be using of white color. Okay, so this is our date filter. Okay, so whenever I'm choosing this particular, you can see it is giving us the value for those particular date range we are selecting. All right, so I'll just reduce this. Perfect. So if you can see in the full screen, so this is our first dashboard which we have created. The buttons I will add later because the buttons will be operated if we are creating one more dashboard, and then the buttons will be used to navigate from one dashboard to another dashboard. We will create our second dashboard. So first what we will do, we'll just name this dashboard as a home dashboard because this will be our main dashboard, and the next dashboard which we will be creating, it will be the best or worst sellers. So what I will do, I will just right click and duplicate this dashboard itself. Okay, and I will name it as worst and or best and worst sellers, best slash worst sellers. Okay, so this will be the name of our dashboards, and here what we will do, we don't want these charts but we want this KPI. So what I will do, I will just delete all the charts from here because we are not going to use these charts. Okay, we'll delete these shapes as well. We'll just keep one shape, and with this shape only we will create our other charts. So what I will do, I will just select first, we will create our containers first, the shapes which we are going to use. So go in general, select this shape, go in general, and we'll give a height and width for this first. So the height I will be using is as 275, and the width I will be using it as 415. Okay, so this will be my width and height. So I will just Control C and Control V. Oops. Control C, Control V. I will make one more instance. I will place it over here. Control C, Control V. I will make one more instance over here. Oops. Okay, so you can see this size has been a bit smaller. I will just reduce this and reduce this as well. Okay, so this looks good. Or we can reduce this a bit more. Width we can reduce to 410. Similarly, this will make it as 400. Now it looks good. Right. Copy this, Control C, Control V. Okay, just increase this downwards and then increase this upwards. Okay. So you just have to divide it in such a way that it is looking equivalent in all the places. So now this looks good. So now our placeholders has been created. Now just we have to create the charts over here. So the first what we have to create as per our requirement is the top 5 best sellers by revenue, quantity, and the total orders. So first we will create the top 5 seller by revenue. Okay. So I will just we have to just click outside and we have to select a bar chart from here. Okay, so I will just place it over here, and we want it with respect to pizza name. Okay, so just select our data, and here is our pizza name, and we want it with respect to total revenue. Okay, so you can see we are getting all of the pizzas over here, but we just want top 5 sellers. So in this case we are going to make use of filter. Okay, so this is our filter panel over here. So here you have a small drop down over here, just drop it down, and instead of basic filtering we are going to use top n, and in top we are going to use top 5, with respect to what we are going to we use it with respect to revenue. So just take revenue and add it over here. All right, and just apply the filter. Right. And I'll just reduce this, increase this, just make sure it is perfectly in these shapes. Okay, then go to general and in effects turn off the title or turn off the background. All right, so now we will do more some formattings onto this particular chart. So just go to visual. We don't want the x-axis, y-axis, sorry, the label for y-axis. So just turn off this. We don't want the x-axis and the label of it as well. Okay. So now on y-axis, we want this to be as semi-bold. Okay. And we will want this color as total black. Okay. Similarly, I'll just hide this and for data labels, we'll turn on the data labels. We want the data labels to be shown over here. The values from here we'll choose it as black and we'll increase the size to 10 and we'll make it as semi-bold. Okay. Now what we'll do, we'll change the color of this bars. Okay. So go to bars and here we'll be using the conditional formatting colors and here we'll be using gradient and we want it to be with respect to total revenue because you are making use of revenue over here. Okay. So this is total revenue. So the lowest value color I will be using as this and the highest value color I will be using as this. We'll take it as a more dark color. Okay. Okay, so this is the color which we'll be using and you can see the legend has been added over here. So we don't want legend to be shown. Okay, so just go up and just turn off the legend from here. Okay, so this is the top 5 bestsellers. We will change the name of the title as well. So this is the top 5 pizzas by revenue. Okay, and we'll make it as 12 and semi bold or we'll make it as bold and we'll make color as this. Perfect. Okay, so this is our the top 5 pizzas by revenue. Now next what we will do, we will quickly find out the bottom 5 as well. So just copy this Control C, Control V and place it over here at bottom. Okay, and what we will do, instead of filters, go in filters and just drop down this. Instead of top end, we want here as bottom end. Okay, just choose your bottom end and click on apply. You can see the values has been changed over here. All right, and then just close this and the color we will keep the same color combinations for top and bottom. Just we'll change the name of the title over here. We'll just go in effects, not in effects, the title, and we'll name it as bottom. Okay, so these are our bottom 5 pizzas by what we can say the revenue. Okay, so these are the bottom 5 pizzas. Now we'll go ahead and find out our top 5 pizzas by total pizzas sold. So I'll just copy this, Control C, Control V, and we'll add it over here. Okay, now we'll just change the title of this. This is top 5 pizzas sold by pizzas by quantity. Quantity is nothing but total pizzas sold, so don't get confused with that. All right, so now in filters we have to change here. Okay, so we want the top 5 but we don't want it by total revenue, so we want it by total pizzas sold. So just add it over here and just hit apply. Okay, so you can see the values has been changed. Similarly, go to build visual. In build visual we don't want your revenue. Okay, so we don't want revenue, we want total pizzas sold. Okay, so you can see it has been added over here. Now we have to change the gradients also, the color gradient. So go here, go into bars and change here the color gradient. So instead of total revenue, we want it by total pizzas sold. So select the total pizzas sold and we will be using the colors. So go in more colors and use any color whichever you want. So I will be using the green color. So this will be my lower color. And for the higher color, I will be using more in green. I will be using a bit dark green color. And I will just hit OK. So you can see this is the colors for this. So I will just Control C, Control V, and I will find out what bottom as well. Okay. So go to general first, change the title of this. So instead of top, I will name it as bottom. Okay. So bottom 5 pizzas by quantity. Similarly, so now what we have to do here is instead of top, we have to change it to bottom. So we'll choose here as bottom 5. Okay. And hit apply. So you can see we are getting here bottom 5 pizzas. All right. So now we will format this particular visual quickly. So you can see the numbers are there, but some of the numbers are inside the data label. So for that, what we will do inside this particular data labels, you just go to visual first, and you can see in data labels we have a background over here. So we'll just turn on that background and we'll choose as a white color. Okay. And we will reduce this transparency to 75%, or we can reduce it more to 60%. Just increase more 50%. Okay. Or we'll change it to 30. So this looks good. Okay. So means what? The bars, or we can see the values are perfectly visible for us. All right. So this is the bottom 5 pizzas by quantity. Similarly, now we will go ahead and create the top 5 pizzas by total orders. So just Control C, Control V. So this dashboard is very easy. If you are doing one chart, it will be used in all the charts. Okay. So first go in filters. So we want it by top, but here also I'll just instead of this we don't want total pizzas sold over here. Okay. So make sure you are selected this, turn off the total pizza sold, we want by total orders. And here as well, we don't want with respect to total pizza sold, we want it by total orders. So this is by total orders. Okay. And just hit apply. Okay. Now we'll just close this, and now what we have to do is we have to do some formattings over here. So just go to formats, go to bars, and here we have to change the conditional formatting. So instead of total pizza sold, here will be total orders. Okay, and we will be using the different colors. So choose any color whichever you want. So I'll be using this, and for end color I will be using this. I'll just hit OK. So you can see the color has been given to this. Similarly, we'll find out the bottom ones. I will just copy this. I'll try to place it over here. So first change the name of this visual title instead of quantity by total orders. Similarly, this instead of top, it will be bottom by total orders. Okay, perfect. So now go to format or go to filters. Here we want it as bottom. So select bottom and just hit apply. So you will get your bottom visuals. And now what we'll do, similarly here also we have to add some background to the visual. Okay, or the data labels I can say. So go to data labels, go to background, turn on it and choose this and turn out the 40%. 30%, okay, great. Perfect. Now you can see here guys, we have already added all the charts. So this has been done, I guess, in 15 or 20 minutes, the second dashboard we have created. So it is not much hard to do this. Okay, so it's just that there should be a good practice and good head on our, whatever we are doing here. So for this, I will just increase this so that the part is visible. Perfect. All right. So now next what we have to do here is we have to change our this particular visuals here as well. Okay. So I will just reduce this first. Similarly, we'll just take this a bit up and we'll increase this also. All right. So now if you can see into the dashboard which I have already created, from here I will just copy this. I'll just Control C and I'll try to place it over here. Control V. Okay. So from here you can see these are the best sellers. So you can go ahead and you can copy and you can go ahead and copy whatever I've typed over here. So you can see the Thai chicken pizza contributes to maximum revenue. Similarly, classic pizza or classic deluxe pizza is the best seller with respect to quantity. And again, the classic deluxe pizza is with respect to total orders. Okay. So even though total orders are maximum for classic deluxe, but the revenue we are getting maximum are by Thai chicken. And here you can see by the Thai chicken pizza, it is the top 5 best seller in by quantity, but still it is giving us the top revenue. So this is something to note. All right. And also this is an important, insight from here. Similarly for here for total sales also, or if you can see the worst performance or worst sellers. Okay, so worst sellers, you can see this is the worst seller. The last one you can see this is the worst seller by quantity, revenue, and total orders. That is the what you can say the Brie Care pizza. Okay, so I will just copy this from here first. Right, and just increase this. So you can see from here this particular pizza, that is Brie Care pizza. It contributes to minimum revenue, not maximum. This is minimum. So let's actually just okay. So just copy this. Okay, so this is the worst seller pizza. We can say the Brie Care pizza is the worst seller, and it contributes to minimum quantity, minimum revenue, minimum total order. So with respect to that, the store owner or our client can take the particular decisions, and he can take the respective actions whether he want to stop the what we can say the make of that particular pizza, or we can say he can remove it from his what we can say the list or a menu list. All right, so this was all our pizza. You can say this also we can operate with respect to the filters we can have here. All right, so you can see with respect to the filters, this is also changing if you want to see it for specific pizza, or if you want to change it with respect to dates, right? So if you want to see in respect to month which was the best seller, or in respect to quarter which was the best seller, you can change the dates from here. Okay, the start date and end date, and from here you can see which was the best and the worst seller. So this is for now the insights which we have carried out are for from start to end. That is for the complete total year. That is from 1st of January 15 to 31st of December 15. Correct. So this was the two dashboards. The next what we have to add here is the navigator button. So I will come to our home dashboards and I will show you how to add the navigator button. So go to insert, and here you have a button over here. So in button you have to click on navigator button. Okay. So here click on page navigator. So here you can see the button has been added over here. So it is asking us which button we have to select. So first we'll go to our format visuals, select this button and go to format visuals, and in pages what we can see here is uh, here you have to show which page. After clicking on this button, which page should be shown. Okay, so we want here to be home page to be shown. Okay, so we want here home page, so turn on this home page. Okay, so home page should be turned on, and I will just add just this button over here. Okay, control C, control V, I will create one more button over here. Okay, and in this case, we don't want to show home, we want to show boys sellers. Okay, so what I'm doing here, whenever I'm pressing control and when I hit this button, okay, press control and hit this button, you are coming back to here. All right. So if it is selected, if it is in black color, it means that you are right now on home page. Okay. So right now you are on home page, and so the other images you can add here. So whatever images we are adding over here is, so let's say if this image we are adding open, and so I will not waste much time on this. So I will add here this image. So it means that right now we are on home dashboard. Similarly, what we will do, I will go to worst seller dashboard, and here also we will go ahead and add our buttons. So just click on buttons, click on navigator, and click on page navigator. So you can see these buttons are added over here. And here what we will do in pages, what we will do in show, just turn off the home button. Means what, right now we are selected on the worst and best and worst seller, and just take it down. Okay, so I'll just take it a bit down. Control C, Control V. I will add one more button over here, and this will be for my turn off this and turn on this. Okay, so this will be my home button. So when I press control, and when I hit this button, you can see I will go back to my home page. If I want to go to bestseller, you can see I am coming back to my bestseller. Similarly, if I want to go to home, I am coming to back home. Okay, so in this way you can navigate whenever you are, updating or pushing your this particular report on Tableau service. You don't have to press control, you can directly operate this button. Okay, but right now we have to press control and then you have to click over here. All right, so here also, if you want to insert the image over here, you can go ahead and add this image. Okay, just add these images quickly. So so this indicates that right now we are on this particular page. Similarly, I will add the image of home button as well. So this is our home button. Control C, and we'll paste it over here also. Control V. So this is our home button. Similarly, we'll add it for the bestseller. So that we'll add a star over here. Okay, so Control C, come back. That will be okay. So this is the star button. All right. So now next, whenever I'm clicking here, so when I click on bestsellers, so I will come on bestseller, and you can see it is converted to black. It is means that we are on this particular page. You can, if you want, you can give any color to this. When I click on home button, I will go back to my home button or my home page. In this way, you can navigate your dashboards whenever you are on server. So this will help our client, to jump from one dashboard to another dashboard. So if you have come to this part of the video, then I hope you have learned something new, some new functionalities, some new DAX queries, new conditional columns, formattings, and all other Power BI functionalities, as well as SQL functionalities, how to write different queries. And then we have created this complete portfolio project. And you can add this in your resume as well. So I hope you have liked this. So go ahead and subscribe my channel, like this particular video, add the comments if you have, like this video. Then and I will see you in the next one. See you in the guys. Bye bye.